Thursday, folks. I feel like I need to be, something over here is making my shit look really dark. And I don't know why, but it is what it is. Oh, I need to put this. Kick rocks. My foot is on the gas. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Tracy. What's up, Lanny? What's up, Headhunter? Good morning, Endo Moon. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you guys are doing well. Sorry I didn't get to come back yesterday, but as soon as I got the kids off the bus, I got hit with, Tutu, I need this for tomorrow for school, and this for tomorrow for school, and this for tomorrow for school. And so, yeah, like that was literally what the rest of my day was. Buenos dias, triplet. What's up? We are better than this. Penny GF, good to see you. David, Sue, Renee, Mama CF, good to see you. What's up, coolest mom ever? The two of you guys, for whatever reason, give me similar energy. Maybe it's just the hair in the picture. I don't know. What's up, Vashi, Candace? Good to see you as well. What's up, Veronica? Hey, Gabe the Babe. Feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. What's up, Blessed and Grateful? Let them know. What's up, 5077? What's up, Pink Panther? What's up, Cam? How are you? Cam, you just did a straight ass morning. You all right, sis? Because, listen, if all I get from Cam is a morning, I'm like, you all right? Should I take your temperature? You good? Because I'm the one. Nope. I don't do randomized phone calls in the middle of my day. Salam Muhammad OS. Hey, Amy. Good to see you. What's up, Celia B? What's up? Just saying, Cam. I'm just saying. Good morning, Carol. What's up, Masani? Good morning, Candace. Whoops, I need to update the sticker. Another nigga's mad. There. I fixed that. What's up, MT80? Good to see you as well. So, folks, all of the topics are showing up pretty clear? Everybody's able to see them. What's up, Terry? Because we're going to touch on pretty much all of them today. If you guys have the ability to help balance out the request box, that would be great. Perfect. Love that. Good morning, Mahogany. Glad to see you. Okay, so folks, before I start to bring folks up through, yeah, good to see you too, Conchita. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for you guys doing all the things. Okay, so yesterday I was supposed to come back, and then I got Mila and Bella off the bus, and it was literally, Tutu, I need this. We have this going on tomorrow at school, and I need this going on, and I have this. And so, yeah, like literally it was, I got the kids, got them snacks, and then waited on Dominic to get here because he gets here after the girls. Good morning, Tommy. And then it was literally the next 4 and a half, 5 hours was to 4 or 5 different damn stores trying to get the things that the kids need. Yeah, Mahogany Lee. So listen, if you're not on my Discord, join my Discord. Sandy put a post in there for everybody to let everybody know what happened. Because sometimes life be life and my grandbabies be grandbabying, and I had to do what I had to do. So yeah, so that is what my yesterday turned out to. Sorry about that, but yeah, it just I got you, Carla. Yeah, so it was just one of those things, right? So they are entering this last little bit of school, and so like it was water day for one child, movie day for another child, like teacher appreciation gifts, like bus driver stuff. Y'all know what it is, and so that's what it was. So that's where I was yesterday, and that's why I did not make it back. But so I've got a lot of different things up here, and the reason why, right? Be action, no regrets. Yes, Carla, I know. Already did all of that. It was a lot. But I did get to come back late last night, Carla, and like shower and get comfy and work on some of the final detail work for your piece. So I'm actually excited. Also, somebody remind me later, like one of my mods, remind me later to grab some of you guys that have been with me for a long time, you may be familiar with a piece that I did that was a bunch of lotuses that had like a really rich, darker red color with some orange and yellow. If you know what I'm talking about, I believe this piece is like 2 by 3 feet in terms of size. I have got a nudge in my gut to let it go. So if somebody wants to purchase it, I will show it to you and let me know. So I don't question things. Y'all know me. If I get a little nudge, I was like, really? That piece that took for, okay, really? Okay. So yeah. So I'm going to do that. Other than that, I do want to dive in. So the reason why I have, hey, Crystal, the reason why I have all of these topics up here is because I think that they are all, what's up, Abu Binks? I think that they are all kind of relevant. Oh, I love that, Sue. I love that. So listen, whether it's talking about MAGA, whether it's talking about Democrats, midterms, Israel, Iran, affordability, immigration, national security, Christianity, Islam, like, yeah, 100%, Amy, 100%. And so I feel like I'm gamed for all of those things as they pertain. Let me ask real quick, votes matter. Are you in here? You were in here yesterday and you sent me a message. I think it was yesterday that you were in here and you sent me a message. I wanted to see if you were in here really quickly. So if you weren't in here yesterday I was going through some spreadsheet data that I had pulled back in 2023 and some that I pulled in 2026, referencing like elections and what it looks like when states have margins of 10% or less, or counties have margins of 10% or less. And so I was sharing like some of those things from all the way back in 2023. What's up, Black Queen? Okay. And the message that I got said, quote, I question some of those numbers. I'd like to invite you to my panel to discuss. And my immediate response was, question what numbers? Because they are literally the numbers from the Secretary of State's website. So they're not me guessing what the numbers are. Like if you think that something that I showed on those numbers wasn't accurate, all you have to do is go to your Secretary of State's website or the Secretary of State's website for that state and pull those numbers from those election years. Like that's all you have to do. Right? Because I mean, and I am a human being. I will say that those numbers from 2023, I went over quite a few times. So, I mean, I would be surprised if there's an error, but I am a human being. But in terms of like, so one of the things that I don't do is I don't argue numbers, because numbers are numbers. Like I can't do anything about what the numbers show. So if the numbers show, yeah, so I don't know, but I appreciate you, SR Protest, but you see what I'm saying? So my whole thing is like, I don't have to, I'm not going to argue the numbers, right? I'm just going to show you that this is what the numbers show. This is what the numbers show. This is what the data shows. And then it's up to us what we do with that information with the numbers. Yeah, the numbers are not my opinion. Right, Christine, exactly. So voters matter. If you're in here and you want to discuss that and you want to join the panel, then we can do that. And I'm happy to actually pull up the spreadsheet and the secretary and the corresponding Secretary of State's website at the same time, if you would like. Also, as you can see, you guys can't see it, but over here, you can see that we're doing a Pally panel at 1 p.m. What does that mean? That means that at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will bring up some folks that are in between the river to the sea, whether that's in the West Bank or in Gaza. And you have the ability to do them some hello, Raja. Do some TikTok coins and help them out. Also, remember, folks, you do not have to wait for me to do yeah, I'm okay, Raja. You do not have to wait for me to host a Pally panel at all times. You don't mind me saying I host shows for the families of Gaza every day at 7 p.m. their time? No, I don't mind you saying that at all. What's up, Doug? So just remember, folks, you don't have to wait for me to host and put people on a Pally panel. on every single day in my link tree, which is in my profile on across all my social medias. There's a section that says Palestinian support links, and those links exist so that you can directly support those people that we have relationships with, that we know, and you don't have to wait for TikTok coins, right? So you have the ability to do that 24/7, whether I make it live or not, or whether I have a Pally panel that happens that day or not. Okay. So just always remember that. And anything helps. And so there are certain ones of those. It's not like a GFM for some of them. Um, for some of them, for some of those sites, whether it's like Spot or Tuft or whatever, they don't actually charge a fee for it. So it's a great way for you to be able to help. So, instead of spending, I don't know, $30 to get 3,000 coins or whatever the numbers are, you can always pop into the link tree and send that directly to help them out. Okay. So that's just a reminder that I want you to keep at the forefront. Okay. All right. Having said all of that, if you are new to me, do me a favor and put a 1 in the comments. And if you're new to me, put a 1 in the comments. And while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and bring a couple of folks up to the panel. When I do that, please put yourself on mute until I get to you while we kind of get things rocking and rolling today. Michael James, you are not new. The lies you tell. What's up, MD Brock? The lies you tell. What's up? Hey, Dr. Nurse. What's up, Julia J? Good to see you. Hey, Brandy. Brandy, I thought about you. And I'm guessing that the reason that I thought about you and the reason that it came up for me the last couple of days is because I'm feeling it. So let's you and I chat about a dragon piece. Okay, let's do that. All right, so folks, do me a favor, put yourself on mute until I get to you. Like I said, I'm going to do a Pally panel in just a little bit, not quite just yet, because we just got started and I need to get things rocking and rolling. What's up, Figueroa and Sons? Sounds good. Yeah, right back at you, SR Protest, Steve, 100%. Yeah, I'm there. And I don't know about you, but I'm incredibly concerned about the Congo, especially with the Ebola outbreak, as if Congo didn't already have enough going on and didn't already have enough challenges. I'm concerned about how fast it's spreading and their ability to contain it with everything else that is already going on in Congo. That's a little holy geez, right? Just saying. Yeah, it's really crazy. So for folks that don't listen, you've been trying to read and keep up. Yeah, Cam, I saw it today, and one of the things that I saw is that the spread is outpacing their ability to contain, and of course that is concerning, right? Right. So exactly right, Carla. On top of everything else, like what else do we need? Ebola. That's what we need. No, not really, but okay. So yeah, you didn't know. Yeah, no, it's a big it's a really, really big concern, this Ebola outbreak. Good morning, Carol. Good to see you. Oh, we're on the tube of you. So yeah, folks, we need to always be mindful of what's happening with Congo, with Sudan, with Gaza and the West Bank, with Haiti, with Cuba. Right, there's a ton, there's a ton, and I don't know if you all get this or not, but like at some point they're going to have to address what's happening with the president of the United States. Just his social media post alone would say to you that there's cause for concern, right? I tried to accept somebody, and it either whoever the person was, um yeah, I definitely didn't say Igbo outbreak. Good morning, Cheryl. Yeah, so it's It's an Ebola. So not Igbo or Ebo. It's an Ebola. Yeah, you're welcome. What's up, Angel Snow? Um, yeah, whoever the person was, I think they decided that they would tip on somewhere else. Okay. Um, yeah, so and just so that everyone knows, right? So um it's the Democratic Republic of Congo and also in Uganda. Okay? Just so everybody knows. And there's lots of places where you can go. The WHO chief is already heading to Congo. That's already happening, and there are, yeah, there's a whole lot going on. Okay, so the reason why I saw something, the reason what I saw earlier today or last night was the fact that Uganda was closing its border. So you know that Uganda and Congo share a border, and Uganda closed its border because of the Ebola outbreak that is happening in Congo. I'm just going to be very direct. My thought process is to look at the World Health Organization. I trust that more than I trust the CDC, to be honest, but I'm just being direct about that. Because the United States of America has a government that lies. Not that others don't, but specifically when it comes to health related information, yeah, I'm not getting it from them. Real quick. So I'm getting ready to bring some folks up to the panel as we get things started. Good morning, Irvette. I forgot to grab water. So can you guys give me 2 seconds? Let me fill up my water bottle real quick, and then we'll be on and popping. Okay. Sorry, but I did forget. As does happen. Because I'm always doing too much. No, I'm not doing too much. I just am always doing a lot. That's a lot. I'm not doing too much. I'm just always doing a lot. There's also something that I have brewing that I'm excited about. How many of you all know that back in the day, especially in the North Carolina area, Charlotte, North Carolina, and so forth, how many of you all know that I used to be a pretty well-known poet in Charlotte, North Carolina, back in the early 2010s, the 2010s, 2011s, 2020, all the way through 2017. Do any of you all know that about me? It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. Good morning, Arabian Night. So I actually reached out. Yeah, Butters. I've done slam competitions and whatever. But listen, so I have some really prominent poet friends that I love and adore and all of that. And so I got this nudge, and I reached out to a couple of them and said, "Hey, you got any interest in helping to organize a poetry and politics event with me?" Anybody, Bueller? And I just said what I kind of imagine in my brain. Good morning, Jay Owen. And I said, I don't have any of the details like worked out, but like what I imagine in my brain is a mixture between poems, actual policies, actual issues, and factual information, where people would become informed as to, because a lot of times when we birth art out of our pain or our trauma, and sometimes our love and our joy, right? But I thought that it would be great to combine poetry with actual factual information about what's happened. So if we're going to do poems about, whether that's living in the hood or whether that's, having food stamps, any of those different types of things, I thought it would be great to correlate that to actual information and to real policy and real policy impact, and to candidates that are currently running for office, and to information that is happening in your district. And so both of the two that I reached out said, I'm in, count me in, I'm down, let's have a chat. So we're gonna have a chat next week, which I'm excited about. What's up, Packard? And talk about what that would look like and how they can organize an event, and how we can help put it together. So yeah, no, politics is the fucking arts. That's what people don't understand. Yeah. So, yeah, just what I need to know. Well, so to me, this is part of Project for the People, right? So to me, what's up, Ja? So to me, having thinking about different mediums, different events, different avenues to connect and to have conversation and to build community with people, that's part of Project for the People. And art is a fantastic way to do that. Yeah. So imagine being able to do a poetry and politic type event, and where you can combine, all of those things together, and for me, reach people and meet people exactly where they are. Okay. Good morning, Scott. So for the folks who ask me, what can I explain Project for the People? Yes, I can. Arabian Night, I can. So Project for the People is something that was birthed out of me showing up on the internet all the time, and hearing people talk about what's happening in the United States of America, talk about what's happening all around the world when it comes to issues and policy, and then people saying, what can we do? What can we do about it? What can we do about it? Right. And when I was looking around, what I wasn't getting was an answer to that question. Good morning, Maya. Right. I wasn't seeing a progressive, what I would consider to be a progressive answer or even idea to that question, is what can we do about it other than get out and vote. Right. And the other part that came to it is the other ideas that I saw happening were more of the same, and all of them asking people for money. Right. It's help us raise money to give other candidates, to go against the existing candidates, to do whatever. And I just wanted a solution that I felt like wasn't asking people for more money, because rich people have enough money and could be funding whatever the fuck they want. Right. If there are super affluent progressives out there, right? There are super liberal, super progressive Dems out there that want something different than the Democratic establishment. And I feel like that those individuals could fund those candidates then. What I am interested in is how we connect with each other, because I actually think that that is the long-term solution. Okay. What state am I in? I'm in the South, Ollie Bear. I think you know that already. You've been in here quite a bit. So, um, so let me share this with you guys. Okay. So my thought process was, I believe that the way that we achieve permanent solutions, right, that change and adapt with the situations and the times, is by building conversations, building community, and building connection through conversations. And those conversations can sometimes be challenging. Those conversations can sometimes be passionate, um, for lack of a better word. If you've been here with me, you've seen me have very passionate conversations with people. And so bottom line is, I didn't see an answer about, well, what do we do about it? And so I began to sit down, and no, I don't, Amy. And so I just began to sit down, and I was like, okay, so here's what I know about the Republican or the conservative movement, right? The conservative movement does something really, really well. Whether you like them or you don't like them, they do something really, really well. And what they do is they plan their work, and then they work their plan. That's what they do. And they don't stop, right? They do not stop, and they keep it. It's just this thing that they just modify it, but they keep going, and they know where they want to go. And they do such a good job I got you, Amy. They do such a good job with planning that work that they calculate the risks involved. They write projects about it, right? They publish them. They get coalitions behind them. They do all the things, right? That's how we got Project 2025. It's how we got Project Esther. It's how we get all of the things, right? So, Arabian King, to answer your question, Project for the People was me sitting down in front of my computer looking at Project 2025, looking at Project Esther and saying, so what is the progressive populist version of this? What would that look like? And how can I use their outline to frame something that works for regular working class people? Good morning, Gums, right? So I began to do a couple of different things. I thought, okay, so what would it take for progressives and progressive populists to develop something that would be impactful for the midterms and every election moving forward, right? What would it be? And to me, it comes down to three things. What do we need as a country? We need three things. Number one, we need to get really fucking serious about winning elections and stop thinking that people are just going to vote the way that they quote unquote should. Like, we have to stop doing that and get very serious about winning elections. So that's number one. And I'm going to put that right there, and I'm going to come back to it in a second. Okay. The second part was really important, which is community and conversations. So we have to build community through conversations that create connection between us and the people around us. We have become very disconnected, very disjointed, very apathetic to a lot of what's going on in the world, including what's happening right in our own neighborhoods. So that was number two. And then number three, what we need as a country is government accountability. And the reason government accountability is third, the reason government accountability is listed as last, is because you will not get to government accountability if you do not do the first two things. Right? So then what I did, Arabian Night, was I took a look at election data from 2024. And I looked at the fact that we had 12 states in this country that had margins of 10% or less, right? And then I looked at every county in those states. And I looked at every county that had margins of 10% or less for the majority of the last 5 years. And then, so let's just say I started out with 20 counties in one particular state. Yeah, Dylan. Well, I'm glad you're watching over there too, right? So listen, so I started out, let's just say I started out with 20 counties, but out of those 20 counties, only 15 of them for 7 out of the last 8 elections, or 6 out of the last 8 elections had margins of 10%, right? Or less. Because you can always get a one-off, you guys, right? Anybody can have that slim of a margin once or twice over the course of 5 years. But to do it consistently, right, throughout multiple elections, throughout 5 years, that means that this is always an area where change is possible. So then those particular counties within those states made a list for me, right? What's up, Leah? And so I put all of those together. So that is part of the strategy on how do we get serious about elections, right? That part. And then it's the communities and conversations. What do we need to talk about? Okay. And so what's up, Todd? And so what I believe is that we need to be talking to the people in our communities about the issues that impact us all, which are healthcare and education and housing and economic mobility, and what's happening with our SNAP benefits, and what's happening with our Medicaid, and what's happening with our education system, what's happening with our funding, right? All of those different types of things, right? And so, Miss My Way or Out, what you're talking about isn't really relevant to what I'm talking about right now. Like, I know I'm aware the Pope apologized for slavery. That's not it for me. That's not a critical thing. Great. I'm glad he did. Fantastic. But what I'm talking about right now is the 5-month window in which we have time to frame and shape the future. Right? So like when you say 123 countries have voted that slavery, and by the way, it wasn't just that slavery was the biggest crime to humanity. That's not what the vote was. You're referring to the UN vote, and the UN vote was actually specifically about the transatlantic slave trade. That's what that UN vote was about. It wasn't just about slavery, because slavery has existed throughout the history of time, right? But there's a different types of slavery, right? Which the United States of America coined chattel slavery. And then there was the transatlantic slave trade. And that is what that UN vote was about. But that UN vote still isn't relevant to what we have to do right now and today. And if you think that it is and you want to talk about that, then I'm happy to have you join the panel and we can discuss it. But he asked me to explain what Project for the People is. And so I'm giving him, I'm giving that information that he requested. So, yeah, appreciate you, Michelle. Hey, Sharon, good to see you. And so next, right, it became about having these types of conversations. And so what I wanted to do was make it as easy for people as possible, right? So many people today are in the same boat. Okay, so you might be like my daughter who works 2 jobs and is in school. You might be like me who's disabled and is a caretaker. You might be like there's a lot of different people that have different things. What it is very difficult to do, and I believe that it's difficult to do it by design, is to stay accurately informed and up to date with what you need to know to make the best decisions possible for the voting booth, right? And so that's what this is about. Okay. Yeah. So when I say caregiver, it means while my daughter works 2 jobs and while she's in school, it means that I help care for my grandchildren. That's what it means. If you don't know what caregiver means, some people do caregiving when it comes to elderly people. Some people do caregiving when it comes to their family members or their partners because they're, they're ill. Like caregiving is a umbrella term. Okay. So what I know is that it is difficult to stay, buenos dias, Mr. Barrios, that it is very difficult to stay accurately informed and have information readily available to you. So what I decided to do, Arabian Night, was I wanted to give people tools and resources and access to those things so that they could easily have these conversations and they could easily share them across social media. They could easily get out into their communities and go to their libraries or to their grocery stores or their college campuses. And so I created a database in this Google Drive that is full of graphics and images for people to share that are by congressional district so that you know what's happening in your specific congressional district. And then there are some that are statewide graphics and some that are nationwide graphics. And so what we do is we get together and we have meetings and we organize and we have conversations and we role play and we discuss all of the different things that may or may not come up when we talk about these issues. And so the goal right now is to not be saying to people, the goal is not to be saying to people, you should do this or you shouldn't do that. Thanks, Arabian Night. The goal is to be able to say to people, hey, these are the things that impact all of us. Let's talk about these things, right? So instead of arguing about culture wars, let's talk about those types of things, okay? And so that's what I do. And so if you haven't seen it, Arabian Night, I'll show it to you really quickly before I dive into the rest of this. Here it is. All right. So I'll show you Arabian Night real quick. And I guess, hold on, I'll share it with you guys over here, even though most of you guys have seen it at this point, but I'll show you. So this is what the drive looks like. And I'm adding to it all the time. I love that. Appreciate it, Christy. And so this is my Google Drive. And when people join, they get an email from me with a link. Okay. And the first thing that I want you to know is here is in English and in Spanish, these are the sources for the information that I give you. So if I'm giving you projected Medicaid and SNAP losses by congressional district, right, this is the link where you can get that information. If you want to look at Medicaid stat facts for the entire country, this is the link to do that. If you want to look at it specifically for your, I said country, I mean state, you can do it here. The reason I want you to see this is that this is where the information is coming from. So I'm not just doing like a trust me bro type thing, right? This is where the information comes from. Now, if I go back over here and I go to, for example, somebody give me a state, any state, and give me a congressional district, any congressional district, one state and a congressional district in that state. Whether that's like Florida 14, whether that's Iowa 5, Indiana 1, Texas, you got to give me a congressional district for Texas. Arabian, since you had asked me, I was trying to get yours. Colleen, you said 13? Okay, I'll do 13. All right, so let me show you what this looks like, guys. So I'm going to go into state resources. I've done this for all 50 states across the country. And this is something that still grows because there's just one of me. But I'll pop down here and I'll go to Texas. And when I open up Texas, I'm going to go to Congressional District 13, and I have it in English and I have it in Spanish. Okay. And so when you go here, I can show you based on the one big beautiful bill, because it reduces federal funding, it's going to show you that 49,000 adults and children are projected to lose their Medicaid by 2034, because every year more and more federal funding is being removed from Medicaid because of that bill. Okay. And then I can also show you in this same district that there are 16,000 children and adults that are projected to lose some or all of their SNAP benefits, also because of that bill. And then I can also show you that because of those enhanced premium tax subsidies that they allowed to expire in Congress, right? There are an additional 49,000 people that are going to become uninsured, right? So I've done this by congressional district, and there will be some people. It's not a website, Amy. This is literally my Google Drive that I created for everyone. And the way that you get access to this is you go to my link tree that's in my bio, and it's the very first link in my link tree. So then let's just say you get somebody that says, oh, well, all they have to do is work and they'll be fine. Well, that's not true, right? So if I go to Texas and I go to statewide graphics, I can show you that in the state of Texas, 68% of the Medicaid of adults that are on Medicaid in Texas, they already work. How about that? 68% of the people in Texas that are adults that can work are already working. So why did I do this type of information? It's because I wanted to make it easy and readily available for people so that you could have these types of conversations. Okay. Then you go to nationwide resources. So I can show you that 41% of all of the births in this country are covered by Medicaid, right? I can also show you that across the board, the average is that 70% of the adults on Medicaid work. Okay, that's across the board. I love that, Andrea. I love it. And so the other thing that is in here is this type of graphic. So no wars should mean no culture wars. So we should vote on policy for the people. And then we should be talking about healthcare and education and housing and economic mobility. And then these are questions that we can ask each other. And this is the QR code on how you scan to join Project for the People. And then this is the law that actually shows you that unauthorized immigrants do not get Section 8. They do not get Medicare. They do not get Social Security, right? So it's different graphics and things like this that I made that are available to people, okay? This is another word about people that work. And then what I love about this particular graphic is it shows you that in Virginia, it's 70%. North Carolina at 67%. Well, look, West Virginia at 62. Iowa at 77. What does this mean? It means it doesn't matter whether I'm looking at a Republican, quote unquote, state or a Democratic state. It doesn't matter. The majority of the people that are on Medicaid that work, they do work, period. It doesn't matter. So why are we letting billionaires and rich people blame working class people for something that's really not the problem, right? So what we do is we plan weekends of action and days of actions, and we select different themes. And then one of the other things that we are doing is people are starting to organize what we call Project for the People parties. What's a Project for the People party? A Project for the People party is where you get people together in your community, either in your home or online, and then you coordinate with me, and I join you all virtually, and then I talk to the people in your community about these same issues and how to have these conversations and to do all of those different types of things. And then the other thing that we're doing with Project for the People is we're connecting people with other people. So if you are in the state of Illinois, for example, then guess what? You got an email and it has the name, the email address, and the county of everybody else that has joined up. So why do that? Well, because if I'm in Florida or North Carolina or Tennessee, right, I might want to connect with the other people in that state so that we can collaborate together. So maybe we all get together and we go out into each other's counties and we coordinate, right? So this is what we currently look like. We are in 48 states and 446 counties right now as of last week. What does this mean, you all? This means that there are only 3,100 counties in the entire country. We are already in 15% of the counties in the entire country. So what happens when people get out and when people get together? They have information that can actually have meaningful conversations, right? So if I were to show you, in addition to that graphic, let me find my little tab up here that I'm sharing, right? So here's another one, and this is a practical matter that is huge. And then I'm going to move on to other things, but you asked me, so I'm showing you. So potential legislation. I believe that we should be paying attention to legislation that is signed in states that makes sense for other states. I believe that we should be looking out and instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, let's just duplicate what makes sense and what's already working. So Hawaii just signed a bill that will pretty much get around Citizens United in their state. Well, I think everyone would love that. Wouldn't you like to get dark super PAC money out of your politics? I would. Everybody I know would, right? So this is something that can be done. So what I've done is I've given you an actual copy of the bill so you can download it. What's up, Wes? Okay. And then what I've done is I've also made available to you a sample petition. So here's what you can do. You can print this off. These 5 pages is 100 signatures. Okay. And what happens is you take this off, you put your state here, you print this off, you go into your community with a copy of the sample bill. And then you get people in your community to sign up and say, hey, I want this bill passed here. I want to get super PAC money out of politics. Let's do that. And then all of a sudden, if at least one person in every county does this, right? Like in North Carolina, we have 31 counties. There's 100 counties total. We have people in 31 counties all across the state of North Carolina. If they all do this and they all get 100 signatures, that is 3,000 local signatures in North Carolina that covers a third of all the counties in the entire state that says, hey, we want to get Citizens United out of our politics. Or New Mexico just passed a bill and the governor signed it into law that said we're going to criminalize if ICE shows up and they are armed and they are at polling locations, if they are at voting booths, if they are in parking lots, right? Guess what? We want this out of our state as well. So this is done for you. So literally all you have to do is print out the damn law, print out the petition, get together with a few of your friends and go get some signatures from everybody and then go have brunch and mimosas, right? And celebrate. So this is what Project for the People is. I want to be clear about something. It is not financed by anyone. There is no think tank. This is just me literally going, okay, everybody keeps asking me, what can we do? And this is what I came up with. And so all of the research, all of the graphics and all of that stuff is stuff that I've done in my own time to make available to you all, because I believe that we need better. I believe that our children deserve better. And I believe that we got to make better happen in 5 damn months. So again, the way that you get access to all the things that I just showed you, and the way that you get invited to the meetings that happen every other Thursday, is to go to my my bio, to my link tree, and then the very first link in there is you sign up and you join. Okay, so that's it. That's what Project for the People is. So because one of the things that I just didn't believe was beneficial was this debate me bro mentality. Prove me wrong. That seems to be all over social media, especially TikTok, where people just want to argue about shit. They want to have gotcha moments. They want to embarrass people. They want to belittle each other. They want to call each other names, and then wonder why we're still in the same fucking boat we've been in for the last decade. Call me crazy. I just would like to do something different that actually produces the outcome we desire. Now, does that mean that I don't have discussions? Absolutely not. I have discussions all the time. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you. I will have passionate, heated exchange 100%. And I will do it with the best of them for as long as they would like. Okay. But if your sole purpose is just to argue and to be, and you're not actually being genuine and you just want to whatever, then I'm not going to waste too much time on you. The only time that I will spend time with someone that I believe is being intentionally obtuse is for the benefit of the other people in the room. So like if I'm on a panel and there's 600 people in the room, 400 people in the room, whatever, and there's an opportunity for other people to learn from this person's position, then I'll do that. But it's not for them. It's for everyone else that's in the room, if that makes sense. Okay. So, all right. So this is why I have the subjects up here today that I have up here, because these are the things that people like to talk about all the time. Okay. I should have put trans people up here, but I forgot. But these tend to be the things that people want to talk about the most. And I'm happy to talk about them, but I'm going to talk about them as to how they relate to the actual issues in the policy. That's what I'm going to do. And so if that's a conversation you're ready for, then good God, let's go, right? If it's not, you might want to get ready, because a lot of things that happen in other spaces and on other panels don't happen in this space and on this panel. Because I just don't believe it's beneficial. Okay. So do me a favor, folks, put yourself on mute. If I bring you up here, and let's try to make sure that whatever discussion that we have, that we are having, that we are kind of staying on target. Okay. And on topic was what I meant. So I know that was a very long-winded answer, Arabian Night, but because there's a lot of things. Yeah. Okay. So Cade, you appeared to have requested up to the panel, and then you appeared to go away. And I will also tell you that this is something that occurs. So one of the things that you will notice is you don't see an abundance of the Debate Me Bro boys coming in here, or FBA for that matter, and engaging in fuckery and foolishness with me. And the reason why they typically don't do that is because I am a very thanks, Wanda. I am a very facts-oriented individual, and I'm going to make you circle back around to those facts, and they tend to not like that, and so they tend to not hang around very long. But that's okay too. That don't bother me at all. Good morning, Arabian Night. How are you?
I'm alive. How are you?
That's probably better than the alternative, maybe. I'm good. Yeah. What you got for me this morning?
Well, I just wanted to come up and say thank you. I appreciate you providing the information that you did by answering my question, and to let you know that I went ahead and I submitted the information in your link.
Yay. Love that.
It's very rare to find someone who is being honest and genuine about their intentions and what they're, trying to represent, regardless of what's going on around us in the world. At least there's a person who is trying to get positive, forward moving information, happening, which is awesome.
Well, I appreciate that. I think that I just I look at people who are with me a long time. They know I have my grandbabies, right? And and I look at them and I just know that I do not, I cannot leave this mess for them. So yeah, living with the Louds. You might have missed it when I said it. So what I do, and I've got to send out an updated list. But what I have done is I send out an email, and so everybody that's in North Carolina got an email, and that email showed the name, the county, and then the email address of everybody that's in that same state with you. So you
Right.
have the ability to connect with each other. The other thing that we do when we meet on Thursdays, we meet every other Thursday right now. And the other thing that we do is when we meet on those Thursday evenings, I do like a little bit of a roll call for the states, and people get with each other in the chat. And they're like, I got anybody else in Clark County? I got anybody else in da 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 da. And even people that are in different states, because some of these states, the counties border other states. And so I've got people that are in Wisconsin and in Illinois and whatever. And those jokers are literally connecting together to do like a little caravan this weekend. So I love that.
Right, right.
This weekend, this summer, I mean. Yeah, but that's what we're doing. So I love that. And so it will probably, so my grandbabies are finishing up school this week. So I will be doing an updated email for everybody that goes out tomorrow. And so you'll get the email that you get from me. It will have a link to the webinar video that I did that actually tells you everything that you can want to know about it. But it also includes the links to the Google Drive. And then it includes, I don't know, it's got 3 or 4 different links in there for everybody. And so that way you can kind of get connected together. But yeah, that's it. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I said, I really appreciate what you're doing on here, and also that you were informing people that you were also doing this. There are people that are doing things that are not even actually letting people know that they're doing things.
Yes.
And I get it, like they're trying to get things done, but also it's important to share that information, and it allows other people to realize that they're not alone.
Yeah.
They're dealing with, and also they have resources that they have access to that they can, get that information out and share it as well as they need.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it was, my folks can probably tell me what day it was. Was it last week that I was on John Fugelsang, guys? Maybe. Last week I was on Sirius XM Progress on John Fugelsang's show, and specifically, and I got to talk about Project for the People, and people are connecting that way. And so, and I every now and again I pop into other people's panels. Casso has been fantastic. Casso is funny because whenever I pop into his live, and he has a really great following and a good audience. He's like, I'm about to give. He cracks me up. He started. He can't be that much younger than me. I'm 53. But he tickles me because he's now started calling me Miss Dani.
Oh no.
He laughed. He said, I say that like you're, he said, you're not old. He said, but he said, I just feel like everybody should just respect you.
Well, I find it hilarious because people, when they get to know me and they realize my age, okay, my appearance doesn't apparently show my age, but
yeah,
they start to call me the Arabic word for uncle, and then they say my name.
Got it.
Or they use a term that is used specifically for an elder when they're speaking to me.
Yeah, I love it.
And I appreciate it, but I also keep trying to remind them, hey, take it easy.
Right.
I'm 43 this year. Easy.
Yeah, slow down with that. Slow down. But no, he laughed at himself when he called me Miss Dani the other day. He said, I just called you Miss Dani, like you. He said, I don't mean it like you old enough. He said, I just feel like, but it was out of respect. And so when I go into Casso space, he literally will give me the last 15 minutes of his live. And
Right.
and just allow and do what I just did with you and show everybody exactly what it is and invite people to spread the word and do all that type of stuff. Is who FBA? Red Hot, who are you asking? Casso? Are you asking if Casso FBA? Don't ask him that. Casso will cuss you out. Ask him if he's FBA. Casso will be like, the fuck you mean? Hell no. Did you see my whole face just now? Girl. Right. Casso be like, the fuck? Yeah, no. Right, Fairy does. He FBA. Casso said, if FBA is just about genetics to be able to trace your lineage, he said, I'm FBA Sal. That's what Casso, he was being funny. But yeah, no, girl, he's not FBA at all. But no, but I appreciate you. And letting me share and all of that. Right, Amy. Yep. Look at that. Look at the locks you got going.
I'm a real person. I'm a real person. I'm not, a fake account with a faceless, whatever.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you having this platform and using it for good, and then also providing additional information on your Google Drive, which is also for good.
Thank you.
What I normally do when I come up on lives, usually it's lives for Palestinians specifically because of what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I recite Quran for them. I'll let them listen to American music as they like. Sometimes they'll catch me because I sing. I also sing for them as well to entertain them. Just anything to change their atmosphere, because I know that, it's really difficult for them to deal with what they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, I've found that the lives that I go into after I'm in there, their whole outlook on what they're dealing with has changed. They profusely thank me for being in there. And when I have a little extra, of course, I throw it their way so that they can buy the things that they need. And they show me they're able to take care of their children even better than they've been able to, providing them food, being able to get all these things that they're trying to get. It's a feeling that's rewarding, but I know that I'm doing it because it's an obligation for me as a person in my faith.
Yeah.
It's not because I want to, show everybody, oh, look at me, look what I'm doing. No, it's because I know that it's my responsibility because no one else is doing it. There's not enough people doing it. It's been a while that they haven't been getting what they need. And it's a very small window of opportunity that we're getting. You know? So I appreciate each and every one of them when they're making their supplications, they're making their prayers, and they're asking for my well-being. They're asking for my health, because at least I know that it's a mutual situation that we're both benefiting by me doing what I'm doing and they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah. If you saw, Raja just came in. Hella, Dani, where you been? So like we have a whole slew. Like if you go in my link tree, you'll see a whole section that's just Palestinian support links, and these are people that we've developed relationship with and that we know, right? And so like I can tell you all about them. So when we first met Muhammad OS, which crazy, it's almost been a year. Good morning, Allah Shak Shak. His wife was pregnant at the time. He's part of Palestinian Press. His little boy Osama, who is now 3, right? And all he's known his whole life is the G side. But so now the twins are born, Haya and Hyacinth. They're born and they are gorgeous, and so I get pictures of them. And Allah Shak Shak honestly needs to, like many Palestinians, he needs to get out because he's got significant health issues and heart issues. And I could tell you about Hussein, who's got lymphoma in his, you know what I mean? Like you just get to know them, and so that's why this is up here. Yeah, because at 1:00, I'll bring them up, and people will do some coins and do what we can to help them out, and and explain to people that this is how they're able to buy the clothes and to get the food and to do all the things. So I appreciate you. Yeah, they're fantastic. There's nothing. I've met being military. I've met a lot of people in my lifetime and a lot of different types of people. I don't know that I have ever met a group of people like Palestinians, the Palestinian folks that I've met. It's just a whole different thing. What's up, Des? Yeah. So it's incredible to see.
For me, it's not just Palestinians. I'm Lebanese. I was born in Lebanon, and I came here when I was very little. And knowing that their struggle is identical to our struggle now is pivotal in being able to make sure that they get taken care of first, because they need the most support.
Yep.
And then what comes afterwards is the resolution that comes into every other country around them, because clearly the paradox entity has decided to do this to the maximum because they're being allowed to do this.
Yeah.
Until everybody says this is enough, they stop supplying them with resources, they stop supplying them with any kind of aid at all, that it's not going to stop, and that they're going to keep spreading their disease everywhere in the area.
Guys, help me figure out the name of who's the Lebanese journalist that joined me on my panel. She's actually going to join a podcast with me. We were going to record one day, but she had to go to the front lines in Lebanon 2 weeks ago. And I don't know why her name is slipping my. Help me out, chat. Who's Layla? Thank you, Ramona. See, they always got me. No, it was Layla, and she was on with me. And let me tell you what, it was the information that she gave was so astounding. And it's been something to be able to piece together what I thought I knew, what I kind of knew, what I had absolutely no fucking clue about, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Brandy, that's her name. And so like I had no clue about the let me see if I can find it. I have all these tabs pulled up. Don't judge me.
No, it's okay. If you were going to see my screen, you would.
Yeah, they're like, Dan. Rachel's like, dear God, Danny, your browser gives me anxiety. And I'm like, girl, that's just the one browser you can see. There's like 4 of them like that. She does have TikTok. So yeah, I had no clue about the Havana Agreement of 1933. I had no clue. Like, for those of you guys here going, what is that? You love my browser. Thank you, Petal, for having my back. I appreciate that. So Havara, I said Havana, the Havara Agreement. So this was what was known as the transfer agreement. I didn't know anything about this, you guys, but you'll find some Zionists who will say, the Hamas met with the Schmatzi people and and what they don't tell you is that the Havara Agreement is actually an agreement that was made between the Zionist organizations and the Schmatzi Germany folks, right? That allowed German Jews that were fleeing persecution to immigrate to British-controlled Palestine. Specifically, they specifically made a deal. So it's wild to me. Well, right. I mean, I don't mean Hamas then. I mean the resistance at that time.
No, yeah, exactly. And specifically also, they have to realize that the idea of Zionism comes specifically from an atheist individual. He found a way to get this processed and slipped through so that it's in every major industry, every major religion, every facet of everything. They have their fingertips in everything in order so that they have control of every possible industry in every country all around the world.
Yep.
Why is it that this nation has only 2 major exports, diamonds and software? And where are their diamond mines? Where?
Right. That's what where are you getting that from exactly? Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And so she was on with me, and I was like, "Wait, what?" You should have seen me like a beast over here, like taking notes. But she did make me feel like I had learned a bit, because so we're talking, and this was I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and there were things that I knew about Iran and things that I did not know, right? And so what I was doing with her was I was saying, okay, so let me know if I got this right. Let me tell you what I think I know, and you tell me if I'm on. And she was like, okay. And so I said, so here's all I know about Iran. I said, what I know is that Iran was a democratic, they had a democratic government in 1951, right? And in 1951, what we know is that they elected their parliament, which is like our Congress, right? Their parliament had 102 members. 99 of those 102 members selected Mohammad Mossadegh to be the prime minister of Iran. And do you know why the people loved him? They loved him because he wanted to nationalize their oil. Imagine wanting your own resources to belong to you. What a novel idea. And under his leadership, they did that. The parliament actually passed legislation to nationalize the oil. Well, at the time, what was the oil? It was called the Anglo-Iranian. For those of y'all who don't know, Anglo's white people. Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, which was owned by the Brits, which is British Petroleum, which you now know as BP, right? Which is what you now know as BP. And the Brits were losing their power in the world, right? Their little global, their empire was
shrinking. Their empire.
They were shrinking their.
Where they are.
Yes, their empire was shrinking, and so they were like, "Oh shit, we can't lose the oil that doesn't really belong to us. Like we need to keep it." And so they went out to Harry Truman in 1952 when he was still the president, and they said, "Hey, Harry Truman, do you want to help us overthrow the Iranian government?" And Harry Truman was like, "Nah, I don't think we really want to do that, but thanks for the offer." Okay. So they just waited until the election was over, and then Dwight D. Eisenhower was in office, right? And funny thing, Eisenhower's son was actually part of the CIA. For people that don't know that. Yeah, Eisenhower's son was part of the CIA at the time. So the Brits come back to Eisenhower and they say, "Hey, you want to help us overthrow the Iranian government so we can keep control of the oil?" And America was like, "Yeah, let's do that." So MI6 from the Brits and the CIA from the US got together and they did something called Operation Ajax, right? And Operation Ajax was run by Eisenhower's son on the ground in Iran. And so they put together all the propaganda and they put out all of the flyers and they stirred up the people in the streets and they wanted them to revolt against Mohammad Mossadegh, right? 300 Iranians lost their life during that time, you guys, for those of y'all who do not know. They were almost not successful, but they ended up being successful. And so Mohammad Mossadegh was then arrested. He was then convicted. He was imprisoned for a number of years, and then he spent the rest of his life on house arrest. And so the U.S. needed somebody, and the Brits needed somebody they could control. So guess who that was, you guys? That was the Shah.
Sadly, regardless of whoever that they take and they put in and they take out, and this is constantly happening over there because their intention is never to have someone that complies. It's like going in, creating work because you're bored at work, and then all of a sudden being like, "Oh, so listen, I gotta stay late because I gotta take care of this." This way they can accrue overtime. And in their case, they're accruing additional black money that they can do whatever the hell they want to do with and not have to deal with the Congress or the American people. They don't even have to say anything about that.
Yep.
So
and
for
this
me,
is
I
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say this has been constantly happening. It's repeating and people are not paying attention.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me is that nobody's actually looking at the history and being like, "Oh, wait a minute.
Thank you.
The same playbook, like
Randy, thank you. It was Roosevelt. I thank you for that. It was Roosevelt, and I know it was Roosevelt. Eisenhower is actually my favorite quote that is on my wall, which is probably why my ADHD brain looked up, saw Eisenhower, and then it came out of my mouth. It was Roosevelt, you all. Thank you for giving me the correction.
I didn't want to correct. I wanted because regardless of whoever the face is, that's what they are, and they've always been that.
Yeah,
they're just a person at the top, just so that somebody can say, "Okay, this is the guy we're supposed to be talking to." For the most part, they don't operate anymore as a result of the influence that AIPAC has had in this country. They don't operate the way that they should be able to operate because they're bought and paid for it. They're just puppets, and they're not allowed to say certain things. They're not allowed to align with certain things. So because of all that reach that they have, it doesn't even allow that person in charge to do anything anymore. It doesn't have any significance because both parties are being controlled by the same set of things. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. So we'll get to AIPAC and up to date in just a second. But for those of you guys who don't know the rest of this little lesson real quick, let me sum it up for you. So it was Roosevelt, and it was Roosevelt's son that absolutely led Operation Ajax, right? But this is what I want a lot of people to get, especially if you are an American citizen. I know so many of us that were shown pictures of women in Iran in the 70s, and they were dressed in Western clothes. And we were like, see, they were free at one time. They were so free. And that's what we were told, because that equals freedom to us, right? Westernization looked like freedom, but it really wasn't. And this is what people really truly need to understand about the Shah is, number one, the Shah was a horrible individual, and he was down for westernizing Iran, no matter if those folks wanted to be westernized or not. And the CIA actually helped create the SAVAK, that is SAVAK, which is a terrorist organization that went around, and pretty much anybody that rose up against the Shah, they would deal with, right? And so all of that transpired. Now, here's what people need to understand is, yeah, we overthrew them. They always want to say Iran's been whatever for the last 47 years. You need to talk about what happened before 1979, because you can't start at 1979 and say, oh, look, these people were horrible. You can't do that. Nope, you got to go back, because they had a democratic government. They had a democratic government. They had a prime minister that they wanted. They had oil being nationalized. They were pretty happy with all of that. It was the Brits and the US that did not want that. Because why? Because we always think that we should take other people's resources and do whatever we want with them. And so, just so that you all understand, it was only after from 1953 to 1979. It was only after 26 years of Western oppression and Westernization that the Islamic Revolution happened. Just so that everyone is clear about that, the Islamic Revolution most likely would have never occurred, by all accounts, had we not interfered with their government in 1953. So if you want to be mad about 1979, get mad about 1953, and then we need to take accountability for what we created. Period.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem, is that this is a constant thing that happens. They go in, they put somebody in because they don't like the person that's there, or the person that's there is not cooperating the way that they want them to cooperate. And instead of letting the people do what they're supposed to be doing with their own resources and their own, they even do this in Africa, and they all piecemeal each country, draw lines, and tell them, oh, listen, this is for your benefit. But they're not benefiting anything from it. This doesn't matter where they're doing this. Right now, the Paradox Nation is trying to go in and take the natural gas that's available just off the coast in Lebanon. And I'm like, that's what they're going for. And they're also trying to make an actual canal that shoots out and pours out into Gaza. And that's why they're doing that. Like, all these things.
Trade. They want to trade lines.
Themselves.
Yeah.
Right. They know what they're doing so that they can avoid having to deal with the Strait of Hormuz. They're trying to do what they can so they can avoid having to go around the Cape of Africa. Like, they know that their time is almost up, because people are starting to figure out what the hell is going on. So they're trying to find different ways of rerouting these things, you know?
Yeah. So let me also say this to the people in the chat. Listen, don't talk to Jack. Jack, I'm going to give you about 60 seconds to join the panel. And if you don't want to join the panel, then you'll end up being muted. Not because you disagree with me. It's because you're not game for the conversation. And I'm not going to let you be a distraction in the chat when people who are actually here to learn are doing that very thing. So either get on the panel and let's discuss what you're putting in the chat, or you'll be muted. Okay. And again, not because you disagree with me, but because I don't believe that you're genuine in your desire to have a conversation. And for the right, and for the person who said that the United States of America has been compromised by Israel since 1967, no, the United States of America has been compromised by Zionism since 1917, actually, and a little bit before that, but it kind of rose to the occasion in 1917. So, and we can talk about that as well. But it's just really important that people understand. So let me just ask you this question. And if you are Black and brown, this probably doesn't apply to you. But if you live in the West, and especially if you live in the West and you are white, and if I use the word terrorism, I would like for you to take a minute to think about what image automatically comes up in your head. If I say jihadist, if I say terrorist, what image automatically comes up in your head? Because I promise you, it's not Jeff Bezos, and it should be. I promise you, it's not Kevin Roberts, and it should be. Right? So just so that we're clear about things. So if you're not examining your predisposition, your bias, your prejudice, if you're not examining that, right, then you've got some work to do, right? Because you have to understand why certain language is used with regard to some people and not other people, right?
The wording, very specific. I find it hilarious that after that event in September, which by the way is the day after my birthday in this country, um, they started to realize, oh, you know what? There's a difference between those brown guys and those brown guys, and those brown guys may be the bad guys.
Yes.
And just started figuring this out.
Yes, 100%. And so no, the US, it wasn't the USA Liberty. You're referring to the US Liberty, which was a Navy vessel, which was not overtaken by Israel. It was bombed by Israel, and 34 Navy sailors died. But we were not overtaken by Israel. So I mean, Miss My Way, I know that I think you're trying to be helpful in the chat, but what you're saying isn't accurate. So it's important to understand that just so that we're clear, Israel did not exist until 1948, period.
Yep.
And the only reason Israel was able to exist in 1948 is because of the Brits and the United States of America.
Yep.
Period.
It was a manufactured colonial settler.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Cooper.
Okay, I am confused about, so when Israel came in and they took over the, like, basically the property that was owned by Palestinians, right? So they came in at that time after the war and settled, correct?
After what war?
After World War II.
So no.
So you're saying like after World War II?
No. So
okay.
the agreement for Israel, the agreement for there to be a national home for Jewish people in the land of Palestine, that agreement was reached in 1917. But prior to that agreement,
okay, all right.
Yeah, prior to that agreement being reached in 1917, listen, the national home for Jewish people had been, they had thought about having it in Uganda. They had thought about having it in Kenya. They thought about having it in New York. They had thought about having it in several different places. So Palestine was not the original choice or the first choice for this national home for Jews. They considered other places. And the most natural place would be the place in Russia that already exists. It is a Jewish only community in Russia, and it existed back then, even during the pogroms.
Okay, that's where the Auschwitz Jews are, like the
Ashkenazi Jews, which is
yes.
Yeah.
They're still there, and they're in poverty, and they have a lot of documentaries about them that they live there like in their 90s.
So, but the Ashkenazi Jews are also in. That's who settled Israel. The folks in Israel today, those are Ashkenazi Jews.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
There are still Jews who are actually ones that actually were born and lived there. My grandmother on my dad's side was Mizrahi Jew, and she converted and took Islam and then married my grandfather. I wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the two of them meeting up. Now, granted, my dad's side of the family treated them as black sheep and, purposely stopped communicating with them. But I exist as a result of that situation. So there are people who are not, naturally born in that country or in whatever state it is right now, but they were Palestinian. Their paperwork said that they were Palestinian. And you can go back and look and see before the creation of the state that this existed. This is something that's historical. You can find all kinds of information that tells you that this is already an established location, that it is Palestine, and it will always be Palestine no matter what they try to rename it.
Yeah, it's always been Palestine. Yeah, Palestine has existed for that. Like you can find that you can find the word for Palestine literally going back thousands of years, and you can see its progression throughout history. In terms of how it became what we know as Palestine today. Yeah. Did you have other questions?
Why did they put up a border? Why are they so? I don't understand what the border wall was created for. So that they had to have like ID to come in and work, and they're cutting off supplies and things like that. When did that wall? When was that created? In the 70s?
So I think you're referring to the walls around Gaza. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Yeah. So no, that wasn't in that wasn't in the 70s. But so you have to understand what happened prior to those walls. You have to understand the Nakba of 1948, when a million Palestinians were either unalived or forced from their homes, and that is why they are currently in Gaza and the West Bank, because all of that land, Israel has continuously taken more land than they originally agreed to. But the thing, so this is what folks kind of really want to give me one second, because something else popped up over here at the same time. I'm on multiple platforms, you guys. So give me one second.
I figured that part out.
Yes.
No rush.
Hey,
I'm not Russian. I'm Lebanese. I take everything with ease.
I love that. I'm Lebanese.
Arabian, are you living in Lebanon now, or are you in the U.S.?
No, I have family there. I am in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to clarify something. When I'm talking about the places within Russia that were predominantly Ashkenazi Jews, if I said that is, well, Amy, join the panel and you can tell me what you think. So the first thing that I would offer to you is for you to examine your language. That's the very first thing that I would offer to you before I bring you on this panel, which I'm happy to do. You said, Dani, you're completely ignoring a bunch of facts. So that takes into assumption, number one, you believe that that's my intent, that there's something that I don't know. I don't care if you know your history. I'm talking to you about your language, because your language tells me your attitude and your disposition, right? You just said, Dani, you're completely ignoring a bunch of facts. Am I? Or did you hear me say something in just casual conversation and you haven't asked me to expound upon it, or we haven't clarified something? So that's the first thing that I would offer to you is be mindful of your language, because what it sounds like is a little accusatory, and it sounds like slightly hostile.
Yeah.
And you might want to check that before you come at me. Okay. So I'm gonna offer that to you as I bring you up here to join the panel. Okay. So it's really important, folks, when we have conversations, that you are mindful of the way that you engage in conversations. Okay. What's up, Frozo? So I just want to be mindful of that. Okay. And so, Amy, what facts am I ignoring?
So, a couple things. The one that I said too, and I'm anti-Zionist. There's no relates to what Israel's doing.
Hold on, I'm not asking. Hold on, Amy.
Lebanon right now, but what the fact? I'm trying to context what I'm about to say.
Right. But so the reason I'm interrupting you is because
Okay.
I don't know where you're at, but
Yeah.
you're breaking up, and that's why people are saying they can't hear you. So
Okay. Oh, I'm in the laundry room. Can you hear me now?
yeah, you guys, can you all hear her better now?
I'm gonna have to come back.
Okay. They said you're better now.
Can you hear me a little better?
Yeah. Okay. And so what
Okay.
facts
So-
is it
so
that I'm
the
ignoring?
So the fact when somebody asked you why the border wall went up and you said because of the Nakba, and that's
I didn't say it was
true, but
because of the
there's more
Nakba.
to it than that.
No, she did not
After-
say that.
That's not what I said,
She didn't say
Amy.
that.
Okay, that's what I heard. Well, the thing that okay, what did you say?
Okay. So
Why?
yeah, I didn't say anything remotely close to that. She asked, why was the wall put up? And she was talking about why did they put that board up? And I said, well, you'd have to first understand how people ended up in Gaza and in the West Bank. And you'd have to go back and you'd have to start looking at the Nakba and all of the time since the Nakba that Israel has continued to take additional Palestinian land.
Okay, so the fact that I wanted to add to that and is that the wall went up because there was a decade or so of suicide bombings in Tel Aviv and Haifa, and in reaction to the Nakba, in reaction to land being taken, which I'm not justifying, but if you don't include the part about the suicide bombings,
so first
then
I need you to use TikTok friendly. I need you to use TikTok friendly language.
Okay.
Right.
I'm not quite sure how to say that. There are things when
You can say self-unalivings if you would like, but
self-unalivings with ordinances and buses, cafes.
but that has nothing to do
all over
with
Jerusalem.
that has nothing to do with the state of Israel deciding to create the world's largest open air prison. Because here's what I would so here's what I would offer. Here's what I would offer is we're not going to pretend that that creating the world's literal largest open air prison and a system in which you literally count the amount of food that you put into a place, but like down to the calorie based on the people that are there, right? We're not going to do that as if it's because Israel needed to protect itself, because that's what you're saying.
So, no, what I'm saying, and this is why I started it by saying I'm anti-Zionist. I don't defend anything they did. I don't defend anything they're doing now. But I will say that that is why, and I certainly don't defend starving an entire population. As far as I'm concerned, you could dismantle the whole state of Israel tomorrow. I'd be happy. Okay, send everybody back to Europe or wherever they came from. But that is in the order of events that happened. That was why the wall went up.
No, it's not why the wall went up. No, ma'am. That is the Hasbara talking point as to what. So when we talk about Amy, I did. Do you know how old I am?
No.
Okay. So let me offer this to you. Chronological events does not correlate to causation. So you can tell me that there were self-unalivings that occurred, and you can then tell me that a couple of years after that, walls were built. What you cannot tell me is that those walls were built because of those self-unalivings. You can't do that. Right? So knowing historical, no, you can't. Amy, you can't. You can't. You can say that, but you would be regurgitating an Israeli talking point. Because if you were to ask Palestinians why that wall was up, they would not say that it was because of those things. Sequence of events does not equal. Hold on.
Excuse me, wait a minute.
So are you saying it was for this?
Okay, wait, I got people all talking at the same time. So 1 minute, please. Cooper, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just had a question. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. She got me a little shook up on this point, but I mean, to me, basically, it's all about power. and what you're saying before when you were educating me about the process of why they were shrinking and taking over, basically, they want to take over the Gaza Strip, I believe. They want to take over the whole thing. So does Trump, eventually. So, the education, it's almost like MAGA, where, people are, it's almost like a brainwash of like, oh yeah, they're attacking us, so we have to protect ourselves. They want to get brainwashed. Yeah, this is why we had to put up these walls. That's why we have walls here in the U.S. We want to keep, immigration. We want to do all these things, because it's all, like paranoia. That's what I'm hearing. It's like, that's paranoia of control. So let's starve out a population and, for control purposes. Is
Yes.
that correct?
So what so we could get into the whole concept of a greater Israel, because that is the purpose, right, of what Israel is doing. Is the concept and the idea of greater Israel. It is why they are attacking Lebanon. It is why they attack Syria. That's why. But what I want to go back and what I want to talk about very, 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 because it's very important. So first, when you say you lived through it, what I would share with you is that so did I. I'm not only am I 53 years of age, I'm also prior military. So that's the first thing that I would say. The second thing that I would say,
over there during Kuwait, Dani, were you there in Kuwait or?
No, I was not deployed to Kuwait. But something that's really important that I want people to follow me. The wall that exists today wasn't built until 2017 to 2021. Okay. The perimeter fence was first built in 1994 while I was in the military. That was when the very first perimeter fence was built, following the Oslo Accords. So I think that that's important. And then it was reinforced in 2005. None of that, you can say that this is a timeline, and you can say that there were things that occurred prior to that. But to say, Amy, that these things occurred, and this is why Israel had to put up a wall, is inaccurate. You don't have a single thing. There's not a single fact that you can point to that says this was the reason for the wall.
So I never said they had to. I appreciate you reminding me of that timeline. I'm going to go look it up again and check my recollection. I didn't say they had to, they chose to. And then and I agree. My stance has always been, if you wanted to give Jews a homeland after WW2, the thing to do was make Germany and Austria give up some land.
But the thing about it is,
that's who oppressed them, and that's who needed to give up land.
But it's important to understand that WW2 is not when they wanted to give Jews a homeland. I really need, if y'all don't hear anything else that I say right now in this moment, World War II did not have shit to do with the creation of the state of Israel. It did not have anything to do with the creation of the state of Israel. November.
So I disagree.
Well, you can disagree, but I'm going to show you the facts, Amy. So give me just a moment, because this is where I'm not disagreeing on facts ever. I'm not disagreeing on facts ever. So what I can show you definitively is November of 1917. Lord Balfour sent a declaration to Lord Rothschild. Okay. So, and I can go back and connect some other dots for you as well about Lord Rothschild. But before I even get there, so yeah, Amy left just now, which is fine. Hopefully you're still here listening, Amy, and you just had bad connection. But let me just connect a few dots for you. And by the way, for anybody that really wants to read every bit of this, it is in my damn link tree for that purpose. Because I want you to read it. Nope. And you about to take your ass somewhere else too. Bye. Okay. So I'm gonna give you all a little bit of a timeline, and I'm not even gonna get into who Herzl was. I'm not gonna get into the late 1800s when he first began developing this idea of a Jewish home for a national home for Jews. I want you all to understand that Herzl began this idea, and at first he was rejected, by the way, before he made this pamphlet and sent it around to some different people, and before he got the financial backing of the Rothschilds, by the way, who also were Zionists. That's not me saying that. It's a fucking fact. I love facts. And I'm slightly irritated. And here's why I'm slightly irritated is number one, you came at me sideways to start off. And I gave you an opportunity to change that course correction, and you seemed unable to do that. And I don't like Hasbara being propagated across my platform. I don't like it. I have a very intense, if you can't tell, I have a very intense reaction to that shit. I can't stand it. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this historical document. And just for anybody that wants to know where I got the historical document from, I'm going to show you. I am on the Jerusalem Center for Security and Foreign Affairs. You can find it fucking everywhere, but I'm going to walk you through it. Thank you, Scotty, for the reminder to hydrate. Hey, Georgia, I missed you too. All right, here we go. So we're going to walk through a timeline, folks, because facts are important. All right, so here we go. So this little piece right here, this is called the Balfour Declaration. See, I don't like the fact that they cut it off. This is the copy of it. But do you see it's from Lord Balfour to Lord Walter Rothschild, right? Do y'all see that? Now, if you want, I can go back over here, and here's the whole ass document. You see the whole document right here? Let me just do an open link, open image. Let me do that. I'm just going to open the image, and here it is. So it says, and I want y'all to read with me, November 2nd, 1917. So here's what's important for people to know about historical timelines. November 2nd, 1917 is in the middle of World War I. How do we know? Because World War I started in 1914 and it didn't end until 1918, right? A year later, November of 1918, as a matter of fact. So this tells me that the conversation around a national home for Jews didn't have anything to do with World War II. So it says, Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you on behalf of His Majesty's government, that would be the Brits, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations. Now, why is that important? Because this ain't all Jewish people. This is a particular group of Jewish people, which is Zionists. And this is not Dani's opinion. This is the historical document. And it says, we have sympathy for the Jewish Zionist aspirations, which you submitted to, and it was approved by the cabinet. So what does that tell me? It tells me that the Zionists sent a proposal of what they wanted to achieve to the British cabinet. They went through the damn government to make this happen. And the British government said, yeah, we'll do that. And he says, His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine. Now, for everybody who says Palestine didn't exist, bitch, they called it Palestine. He didn't say His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in your homeland, in the original land of the Israeli people, in the original land. It said in Palestine, which tells you what? That Palestine already existed. So miss me with all of that bullshit. I'm just not here for it. Okay? Again, Hasbara talking points. I'm not doing that shit. And so in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object. Okay? It being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities. That would be the Arabs that already live there. That would be the Christians that already live there. That would be everybody else that peaceably already existed in Palestine prior to the creation of this Jewish Zionist place. Got it? And it says, don't do anything that infringes upon their civil and their religious rights or the rights and political status enjoyed by the Jews in any other country. Now, that part right there is really, really, really important. You want to know why? Because as I was stating before I was accused of ignoring facts, as I was stating before, then you would need to go look at the 1933 Havara Agreement. What is the 1933 Havara Agreement? It is when the Zionist Federation actually met with the Schmatzi government in Germany, and they signed an agreement to have the Jews in Germany that were being persecuted be moved to, guess what? The British Mandate of Palestine. Got it? So not only did what became Israel infringe upon the rights of the Arab and Christian communities and Jews that already lived in Palestine, they then went and did a damn deal with the Schmatzis themselves. Ain't that some shit? You want to see it? Let me show you. We're gonna Google it together because I believe we should all learn together. Watch this. Havara Agreement. Oh, there go that shit. It's already there. Y'all see it? 1933. And it's an agreement between who? Schmatzis and the Zionists. And it was signed on the 25th of August in 1933. They met together to transfer Ashkenazi Jews that were being persecuted in Germany to what would become Israel in 1948. So when anyone opens their mouth to tell you that Israel is the result of World War II, they're full of shit. When anyone tells you that this was not a Zionist agenda, they're full of shit. When they tell you that they didn't do anything to bring other people, other Jews from other places in the world, they're full of shit. And when they tell you, we ain't even gotten to the part where they did really horrendous things to make Jewish people in Iraq and other places come to Israel, where they didn't want to go, by the way. But anyway, just so we're clear, 1917. And like I said, this is just when the Brits finally agreed. Herzl had been marketing his proposal since the late 1800s. He put together this pamphlet. How do I know? Y'all want to see some? I told y'all I have too many damn tabs up in my life. But look, watch this. When I click that, what's that, y'all? What does that say?
The Complete Diaries of Theodore Herzl.
Ain't that some shit, y'all? It looks like I might have wanted to know what I was talking about. It looks like I might have said, you know what? Before I get on the internet and tell people they are ignoring facts, I should know facts. So I'm going to pause right there for just a moment. Okay. You're welcome, Righteous Giggles. You're welcome. I'm going to pause. Go ahead.
I want to stay on for longer, but I realize that I have some things that I have to accomplish today. I really appreciate what you're doing here, and I'm very glad that Abu Banks is the one who shared this profile with me.
We love Abu Banks.
I want to make sure that I come back as often as I can, and I'm looking forward to continued communication with you.
Love that.
I need to run away, so you guys have a good day.
All right. You have a good one. Be looking forward to seeing you back. Appreciate Abu Banks.
Likewise. And you and yourself have a great day as well.
Okay? You too. All right. Bye. All right. So, folks, this is the thing that I really want you to know when we talk about this. You're welcome, Morpheus. Okay. There are a few things that will get me riled up. This would be one of them. Okay. And one of the reasons I take this so seriously, I got you, Frozo, coming. One of the things that I take this so seriously is, y'all, a year ago, there was so much that I didn't know about this subject. 1 year ago, anybody that has followed me for a long time will tell you a year ago, a lot of this I didn't know. And do you know what happened? Do you know what happened? I met some Palestinians on TikTok. And they said on my live and they said on my panel with me, and they said, but it's this, and this happened first, and this. And I was like, wait, what? And so guess what? All I did was fucking listen, and I took notes. And then after I listened and I took notes, I went and looked up everything they said to me. And then I went and looked up things that they didn't say to me. That's all I did. And that's the difference in being interested in facts and truth, right? And wanting only information that reinforces the position you've already had. That's the difference. I already told you guys, I grew up neck deep in church, right? Like all up in here, for real. We went through the schedule yesterday, y'all. I was a Sunday school at 9 a.m. I was a regular church at 11 a.m. Right? If you was lucky, regular church got out at 1:30, but that was just so you could go eat. And you might be eating at the church for real, right? Depending upon what Sunday it was, fourth Sunday, second Sunday, right? And then you take yourself, and then after you eat, you come back because you got church Sunday night. And then Monday night, you got intercessory prayer. And Tuesday night is men's night. And then Wednesday night is women's Bible study. And Thursday night is youth. And then Friday night is somebody's revival somewhere. And then Saturday morning was choir rehearsal. And then you was right back at it on Sunday. That's how I grew up. Okay. And I grew up that Israel is the chosen people. That's how I grew up. Y'all hear me? So if I, someone who grew up in that environment and had been told that my whole life, could hear someone and say, you know what? Maybe there's some shit I don't know. Let me Balfour. What? Spell Balfour. Say it. What's Hershey's? Heinz? Herzl? That's his name? Let me, right? That's the difference. Oh, no, I don't need to spell it B. I was being facetious. But you understand, that's the difference, folks. When somebody gives you information that you've never had, instead of rejecting that information, take the information and then go look it up. Do your due diligence. Be a responsible human being. That's it. No, my mama was not the piano player. She was, however, over the youth choir. Like, she didn't direct it or nothing. She was she drove all the youth kids was at my house all the time. Like, and we all sang in the choir. Okay. So here's the other part. I'm gonna bring you up to speed. All right. So this is where we are at this point. Okay. So, Nirvana, I hear people say Jewish. I hear people saying Jew. I hear people saying that if you just say Jew, then somehow that's offensive. I hear people saying whatever. So to me, they're the same thing, because for the purpose of this conversation, the only distinction that I need to be making is Ashkenazi Jew, right? Versus Jewish Zionist versus Christian Zionist. Like, that's really, like, those are the main points that for the purpose of this, that matters, right? So, and it's important for everyone to know that Judaism is not Zionism. I'm going to say that for you again. Judaism is not Zionism. And if you lived in a larger city with a significant Orthodox or traditional Jewish population, you would know, because those people are out there protesting against Israel, and the Zionists are out there telling Jewish people they're not Jews. It's the wildest shit ever, right? But go look it up. It's happening all across the country. Okay. So we get to 1917. Now, things that I'm going to just throw in here for you, and I'm going to tell you where I got this information. Has anybody in here, unless you got it from me, has anybody else in here ever bothered to read documents from the Rothschilds archives? Anybody ever read any of those? The Rothschilds archives? Especially around what was happening in 1917 and 1918? Because I did. And do you want to know what led me to the Rothschilds archives? I'll tell you what led me to them. You said you're very behind, Frozo. So I'm going to tell you how I got there. You never knew what a Rothschild was before me. So let me share this with you. So what I wanted to know, and this was a while back, I put up a background and I said, why is Israel so different? Why does the United States of America treat Israel so different? I kept wanting to know, because y'all gotta, if we are being honest, we are a transactional country. We don't just have people's back because they good people and we should have their back. We don't do that. Historically speaking, we don't do that. Ask the French. Ask the French, because after they helped us secure our liberation and they were like, yo, we was like, huh? Who, what? You're breaking up. What? Yeah. So I was like, where's this connection? I wanted to find the place in which the British and the Zionists that became Israel, right, intersected with the United States of America. That's what I wanted to do. Oh, here, social justice. Why don't you join the panel and we can talk about that next? Okay. So here's what happened. So I got to looking, and first of all, a lot of people already know about the Rothschilds, and so when things started shifting in Europe, and Jewish people started being given access to the same types of jobs that Christians were getting, people started to feel some kind of way about it. They felt like there was too many Jewish people going into banking and too many Jewish people going into finance and too many Jewish people getting jobs that was meant for Christians. This sound familiar at all? This tends to be a thing with human beings. Okay. But the Rothschilds, you could do me a favor and check, because I'm not sure if I put it in there or not, to be honest. Okay. But follow me. So they developed a banking system. That's what the Rothschilds did. They developed a banking system. Mama Rothschild and her little sons around, and they developed a banking system. And do you know one of the things that they were super good at? One of the things that really made them important and powerful in the world. Do you know what one of their main specialties were from the Rothschilds? They gave government loans. Specifically, government loans. So if you didn't know this, okay, about the United States of America.
Were the Gettys, Danny, were the Gettys involved with the Rothschilds?
I don't know, because it's not to this part that I'm talking about right here.
Okay.
So the Rothschilds were big on government loans. Okay. And so again, social justice, I invited you to the panel. You haven't made it. So I'm going to need you to come to the panel to have a conversation before you get muted. And you're not going to get muted because of anything other than, if you want to have the conversation that you want to have, then we're going to have it from my panel, and we're not going to have it while I'm talking about something else. Because then that just kind of gives, it looks like, it might give people the impression that you're disingenuous and you're trying to be distracting because you don't like the information that I'm giving. I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just saying some might look at your behavior and draw that conclusion. So I don't want people to get the wrong conclusion, the wrong idea about you. I would love to talk to you about exactly what you're talking about. So why don't you join the panel and we can do that? Okay. All right. So this is what's important. So you'll come up on your break. Great. Love that. So here's what's important for you to know. The Rothschilds were really, really good at government loans. Did you know that y'all who's played Monopoly? Y'all like Monopoly? What's 4 of the best spaces that you can get on the Monopoly board? It's them damn railroads, ain't it? Pennsylvania, right? Park Avenue and Boardwalk, it's them damn railroads because they're on all 4 corners of the board in the damn dead center. Got it? And that's what the Rothschilds did. They gave government loans, and the majority of our railroads in the United States of America were built because of the money from the Rothschilds, from the banks, from the loans. If you didn't know that, now you know. Matter of fact, you might not know that the very first segment of the New York City subway system was done by the Rothschilds. Not them personally, but their banking system, the money. Okay? There's a guy by the name of August. Hold on, because I don't want to go too far into this. Okay? I don't want to go too far into this, but just follow me. So some things were happening at the time. And they sent a guy to go check on some other stuff. And the guy got to New York. And what he found was that the offices had been closed and shit wasn't really working. And so he was like, I'll just take it upon myself to stay in New York and make it up. And so he got an office, guess where? On Wall Street. Oh, August. Hold on. I'm going to just tell you his full name. August Belmont. That's his name. And he was over in there, y'all listen, in the 1800s. He got to New York City in 1837. Okay? 1837 is when he got to New York City. Okay? And so he began handling the Rothschilds' business and their investments in the United States of America for them at that time. Okay? You're welcome, Shug. Now, here's because remember, how did I get to August? I got to August because I was asking one question. Why does the United States of America treat Israel so special? What are we doing? Why did we choose this? Because we don't get shit from them. I mean, y'all might say, oh, you get intelligence now, but what did we get first? Not a damn thing, right? So here's what happened. So remember, we're talking about Lord Rothschild and Lord Balfour back in September of 1917, right? And what did we know at this time? The United States of America was not in World War I at this time. Did y'all know that? The United States of America was not in World War I at this time. We was chilling. Okay? And the Brits were like, damn, this shit is starting to cost us a lot of money. Like the empire is not empiring the way that it used to. Okay? The empire is not empiring the way that it used to. And we need some assistance to bring this shit to an end. Now, other things that are happening around this time. How many of you guys know Sykes-Picot? If you are not familiar with Sykes-Picot, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, lots of people not familiar. So I want you to remember Sykes-Picot, that's 1916. But then we have to go back to 1914 to 1915 before then. And this is in the middle of World War I. And the Brits are like, I got you, Jay Bird, 1 second. So the Brits are like, how do we instigate an uprising against the Ottoman Empire because we want to win the war? Well, the Brits made a deal. And the Brits made a deal. Sir Henry McMahon, MC McMahon. Anyway, Sir Henry McMahon, it was a series of letters. He was the British High Commissioner in Egypt. And he sent some letters to Sharif Hussein bin Ali, who was the Sharif of Mecca. And this correspondence that happened between June of 1915 and March of 1916, okay, they made an agreement. And here's what the Brits said, and I'm just going to kind of paraphrase it. The Brits said, no, the Ottoman Empire at that time, Palestine was part of the Ottoman Empire, as was a lot of other places. So listen. So here is what the British said. Listen, if you will rise up against the Ottoman Empire, right, then we will recognize and support Arab independence in vast territories across the Middle East, except I believe it was Egypt and Syria, because they were kind of contested at the time. Okay. So 1915, the Brits make a deal with Sharif Hussein bin Ali. And they say, listen, here's what you need to do is you need to help overturn and rise up against the Ottoman Empire. And if you do that, we'll support your independence. And then the Brits turned around a year later and said to the French, hey, listen, I know, like, we told them Arabs some shit, but we didn't really mean it. So listen, French people, here's what we do. When we finish winning World War I, we will divide up all the land over there, and you can determine what you're going to take, and I'm going to determine what I'm going to take. That was 1916. That is called the Sykes-Picot Agreement. SYKES dash PICO, PICOT. Okay? So the British, they ain't about shit if y'all haven't picked up on that by now. They promised the Arabs one thing, and then they turn around and promise the French something different, right? And they basically backstabbed the Arabs, right? In order to divide up. And then they turned right around. Just listen, the Brits was busy as fuck. Then they turned around, and in 1917, they said to the Zionists, we'll give you part of Palestine. We'll give you part of Palestine, right? Crazy. You know what's wild is nobody asked Palestine, right? So now fast forward to this thing that we've got going on, where the Brits are in World War I, right? And yeah, I told y'all way before World War II. Didn't I say that to y'all? Well before World War II. So the Brits have now made this agreement with the French. Okay, I got it, sis. Okay, so we're at this place right now where the Brits are saying, okay, we made a deal with the French. If we can just win this World War I thing, right? Then you can have part of this, and we'll take part of that. And based on this assumption, we'll promise the Zionists that they can have a national home for Jews in Palestine, right? But first, what we got to do is win the war. And we are stretched thin. This shit is, in case y'all don't know, war is expensive. Did y'all know that? War is expensive. So the British say to the Rothschilds, okay, So listen, when you are on your break, sweets, I will unmute you. Until then, you can be muted. Because I don't know if you get paid by the comment or what, but until you get your ass right up on here, yeah, just shh, beloved. Okay, so here's where we are at this point in time. Okay, John, scared to talk to you? In what way? No, John, in what way? So this is way before the British Mandate. The British Mandate is 1922. I'm not even there yet. Okay. So, John, give me one moment. Okay. So, just so that you all understand where we are, the Zionist Federation wanted what? They wanted a national home for Jewish people in Palestine. And the Brits wanted what? To win World War One. And in order to do that, who did they need to participate? They needed the United States to participate. And guess what happened? The United States of America joined World War I in April of 1918, just a few months after the Brits tell Lord Rothschilds, yeah, you can have your national home, right? Hey, Dr. Emmy, I saw you message me, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Okay. So this is where we got to, okay? Just so that everyone is kind of clear and up to speed. Yeah, nothing to do with World War II, long before the British Mandate. And just for shits and giggles, in case anybody needs clarity, I will show you this last little part right here at the bottom of the letter that I was showing you a minute ago, because it's important. So he finishes this letter to Lord Rothschild by saying, what? I should be grateful if you would bring the declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. There is no question who wants to establish this national home for Jews in Palestine. Okay? There's no question. Okay? All right. So, Frozo, did you want to say anything before I see what John thought I needed to be scared of?
Oh, no, please go ahead. Obviously, the good stuff will come typically at the end, so I'll save the good stuff for later. Yeah, go ahead and speak to John. I'll just stay in the background.
I gotcha. Okay, so yes, so John, you made the statement that I would be scared to speak with you. What were you referring to? What would I be scared of?
Well, I don't know. I was looking at your prompts there, your background as like MAGA Democrats, midterms, Israel, Iran, affordability, immigration, national security. I mean, Christianity is I mean, you go on about all this. Well, what is your actual point about that? Because, I mean, obviously, I don't know. I looked at your profile and I don't see a country where you're from or anything else. I don't know your standpoints.
So my question to you, John.
No, wait 1 second, young lady. I apologize.
So my name is Dani. That would be first. My name is Dani.
I know.
Okay, so you can just call me Dani. And wait, but so one of the things that I need to ask you, because the question that I ask you, right? Because I know what topics are on my page. What I asked you was,
right.
You made a statement, and your statement was, you must be scared to talk to me. And my question to you is, what is it that made you believe that I was scared to talk to you?
Because most Democrats are. And
why do you think I'm a Democrat, John?
This is what I didn't understand. I sat here and listened to your rhetoric for a little while, and I didn't get a political party. I didn't get anything out of that. But then when I looked up your profile, it didn't show what country you're from or anything like that.
What does that have to do with it?
It has everything to do with it. I mean, how can you say MAGA Democrats and all the rest? And
what am I saying here? What am I saying with these things that are listed? How can I say MAGA, Democrats, midterms, Israel, Iran, affordability, immigration, national security, Christianity, and Islam? How can I say those things?
And that's why I wanted to come up here. That's why I wanted
But I
to
ask you, John, why would you imagine that I would be scared to speak with you, John, about any of these subjects?
Because what I get from your prompt in the background is that you're taking a stand for the Democrats and
where would you get that?
Bathrooms and other.
Where did you get that? I would like for you to show me based on the topics and the background where, John, don't interrupt me, please. John, listen to the full question.
My apologies.
Thank you. So the question that I said to you was, right? What would make you think that I would be scared to talk to you about anything? And then number two, what in my prompt said that I was taking a stance for Democrats, because I literally list MAGA and Democrats, right? And where does my prompt say anything about bathrooms?
It doesn't.
So John, I just want to know, I'm really curious. Why are you, so listen, and there are programs to help with this type of thing. If you are obsessed with people using the restroom, there are programs that can help you not be obsessed with people going to the bathroom. Like, you don't have to. Well, you brought it up, but it's not in my background.
Man walks in.
But John, nope, we're not going to talk about. Nope, John. Listen. Nope, we're not going to talk about men. John, we're not going to talk about people in bathrooms. And the reason we're not is because it's not on my background, right? And so here's the point that I'm making, John, is I don't have anything on my post that mentions people using restrooms. And so what I am offering to you, because I care about all people, is that if you can look at a background that doesn't mention bathrooms or body parts, but that's what you're concerned about, I am sharing with you that there are programs and people that can help you with that, so that you don't have to be worried about bathrooms.
Let me say this. No, I'm not worried about it because.
Well, but you have to be, John, because you brought it up. John,
my granddaughter.
John, you brought it up. John, I just told you we're not talking about bathrooms.
Yes, young.
Yes, Dani. Thank you.
Hey, I understand that, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, you said call you Dani instead of young lady. So
I did. Thank you.
Respecting your wishes.
I appreciate that.
And I will always do that. I am respectful. But no, I looked at your profile. It doesn't say what country or anything.
You keep saying that. What does what country I'm from have to do with anything?
Because saying MAGA Democrats.
You mean because I listed words?
MAGA Democrats. Yeah, and I'm asking, where are you from, and how can you talk about these subjects if you're not from here? So,
well, John, why would you think?
From here,
well, but why would you? But why would you question that, John? Why would you look at me and wonder, is she from the United States? What would make you think that?
No, because you know, my profile says I'm from the United States and where I'm from.
Yeah, but I don't have to have my profile like yours.
I know you don't.
Okay.
That's your
so
freedom.
The question that I'm asking you, so John.
In the same token, I'm asking you, why, if you're not from here, how can you speak on these?
So, okay, so let me ask you this. So John, let me ask you this. So, do you know? So,
anything like that?
John, this is the question that I'm asking you. Okay. So, are you familiar with the term?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you familiar with the term geopolitics?
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
Which means
so-
global, pretty much.
Yes. So so based on global politics, do we know the same way that people in the United States of America talk about the Labor Party and the Reform Party in other countries? They don't have to live there to talk about those things because they understand that politics in other countries affects the entire globe. So whether I am or am not from the United States is irrelevant to my ability to discuss the politics of the United States.
Young lady,
Dani,
America,
Dani, Dani,
Dani.
thank you.
In America, Dani, in America, we got freedom of speech. So you know what? That's your after.
So, but
You
America and freedom of speech have nothing to do with my ability to speak on a subject. That's the beautiful thing about
absolutely
information
not.
and
it just the two things made me think, okay, maybe you were swayed one way or the other.
what so
You know,
this is the question that I'm asking John. What about the word MAGA and Democrats shows any sort of sway?
Because, well, you know, you didn't specify your country, and when somebody says MAGA, that's like a derogatory statement.
I don't think so. I know people that are proud to be. Why? How is?
MAGA? We're not MAGA.
How? Wait, John. People literally buy clothing that says MAGA. So no, John, I do not believe that MAGA is a derogatory term. It's not derogatory. People literally buy hats and shirts and flags with it on it.
So let me ask you one simple question. It's just like this. If you were here in America,
Mm-hmm.
how would you vote?
Well, so so John,
Democrat or Republican? It's not about MAGA. MAGA is a term that the Democrats created.
No, sir. The Democrats did not. The Democrats did not make up MAGA. Do you know the history
MAGA
of?
means,
So
you know
John,
what MAGA means?
I do. Make America Great Again.
MAGA
Do you
means
know where
Make
that
America
slogan came
Great
from?
Again.
Do you know where the slogan came from? Can you tell me, John?
What slogan?
The Make America
What
Great
slogan?
Again. Make America
Yeah.
Great Again. Tell me where that slogan came from.
Have you? Okay. Well, I'm gonna answer a question with a question, and what other president loves his country more
No,
than Donald Trump?
nope, John.
Yes,
The
see?
question that I'm going to ask you, because this seems to be difficult, so I'm going to try to help you through the conversation.
Not difficult. It's not difficult.
So, John, here's the question. The question is, can you share with me where Make America Great Again was coined? What campaign slogan was that? Whose campaign slogan was it?
100%, but it's probably Ronald Reagan or Kennedy. One of the two.
It was neither. It was actually Richard Nixon.
Educate me.
I just did. It was Richard Nixon.
Okay. And he was?
What do you mean?
What party was he?
Well, so Richard Nixon was a Republican.
Right.
Right, but you said that Make America Great Again,
Make America
John,
great.
you said Make America Great Again was made up by the Democrats.
No, I didn't say that about Democrats. The Democrats don't want to make America great.
John,
They want to put women.
John, why? Stop talking about bathrooms, John. It makes you seem creepy. John, stop it. John, stop. You are a grown man. And the fact that you keep wanting to talk about bathrooms is creepy. It literally, listen, it makes you sound weird because
How does it make me
I'm
sound
going to tell
weird?
you, shut up and listen, John. Listen. It is so creepy because I need for you to understand what was taking place in this room before you came in here. We were having an extensive, historically fact-based conversation around geopolitics, John. And you said that I was scared to talk to you, but you haven't been able to articulate to me what I was supposed to be scared about. And all you keep wanting to do is talk about bathrooms. And that is just really creepy to me. I would not let my granddaughters around a man that kept talking about people using the bathroom. It's just weird. It makes me go like, are you on a list? Do you have to turn out your lights on Halloween? Can you buy a house beside a school?
My question with you: would you let a grown man in the bathroom?
John,
No, answer the question.
John, you sound like you cannot give out Halloween candy. John, you sound like you cannot give out Halloween candy. You sound like, I bet you don't give out Halloween candy. You sound like you have to turn the lights out and pretend that you're not home. You sound like you cannot buy a house or live beside a school or a park.
Well, why can't you answer my question?
Because your question is crazy. John, you keep wanting to talk about bathrooms. Do you understand that?
I'm just asking.
John,
because this is
why do you keep talking about bathrooms?
I just explained it to you.
No, you didn't. John, it's just, so listen, John, what we're not talking about here is people's private parts in bathrooms. I know that that's something that you like to talk about, but go somewhere else to talk about that. If you want to talk about like other issues, we can do that. But I'm not talking about bathrooms and people's private parts. I just believe that those things.
No, young lady, it's a big thing.
I don't think you understand how it works, John. I don't think that you understand how this works. John, do not take yourself off mute. John, if I put you on mute, I did because you won't shut up. Now you said that you would be respectful and you're not. So you're either going to be respectful, John, or you're not. Now, you joined my panel and I have done nothing except call you by your name. Your name is John. I have not called you anything else except John because that's your name.
And I'll call you Dani.
Exactly. And what you need to do is stay on mute until I take you off. Because that's being respectful. You're behaving right now, John, like you would come into my house and put your feet up on my fucking coffee table. It's rude. Don't do that.
No, I'm not a Democrat.
No, you're acting rude. That's what you're doing.
Well, let me know when I can speak.
I will absolutely do that. Thank you. So, folks, I want to be clear about something, okay? When someone wants to join a panel and they only want to keep coming back to one singular topic, okay? And that topic is in no way, shape, or form related to the information that you were already discussing. And that topic has absolutely nothing to do with regular policy. Right, Nuri? It's not advantageous to engage in that topic, okay? So what's crazy about this is, as you all can see over here and you all can see over here, I'm not discussing bathrooms. I'm not discussing people's private parts, right? I think that people have their own doctors and people have their own loved ones and people have their own therapists and people have their own people in their lives to have those conversations with, right? I'm not having that conversation with anyone. Now, what I will have a conversation about is anything that is on this list. And you can add to this list healthcare, you can add to this list education, you can add to this list economic mobility, and you can add to this list housing. Other than that, it just seems really weird and creepy. It just seems very weird and creepy when grown men only want to talk about bathrooms and private parts. I won't do that with those people. It just seems weird. So
obviously, you think it's okay to be gay or trans.
John, you obviously think that I am not discussing other people's body parts and private parts and bathroom practices with you. That's what is obvious. And it is obvious that the Lord seeks to save us from you.
Let's go to the different. Okay, Dani, let's go to a different subject matter. Let's go.
Y'all, this is nothing but the Lord. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see this? This ain't nothing but the Lord. Listen, when the Lord steps in and says, "Let me handle it for you," won't he do it? Yes, he will. He's an on-time God. Yes, he is. Yeah, he's an on-time God. Yes, he is. Well, he may not come when you want him, but he'll be there right on time. He's an on-time God. Yes, he is.
Beautiful, but still, let's go to these other topics. Midterms. Why would, if you're from a different country, why would you even care about midterms?
And John, you've yet to tell me why you believe I'm from a different country. See? Y'all see Jesus? Do y'all see the Lord just been like, just like that? What was it, John? Again, I'm sorry.
I don't believe God like Jesus. I believe in Thor. No.
I don't even know what he's saying right now. The Lord doth worketh in mysterious ways.
And it makes no sense to me. It's okay to keep committing sins and saying, and it don't. If you continue to be.
Y'all, I literally am only leaving this here because for me right now, the way the Lord is showing up and showing out, I can't resist.
You laugh it off, but how can you laugh when I'm being real?
John, I'm laughing because I don't know what words you just said. John, no one knows what you just said. You are breaking up. You're breaking up. Can't nobody hear you. Look at the comments. Do you see that? Everybody was laughing because nobody could hear you.
Obviously they can because that comment and you're live. Why don't you go back and look instead of laughing?
All y'all heard was obviously they can because of.
That's what Democrats do. No, they didn't. Go back and look, and you'll see responses.
I cannot. Y'all, I cannot. This is why John is concerned about bathrooms.
Run just like a Democrat. Run. That's fine. Come on.
John, it's too early for the shine. It's too early for the shine. It's too early for the shine.
They're scared of me.
It's too early for the shine.
The shine.
Okay. Y'all, and that was me. That was me because I couldn't do it anymore. Because, like, I mean, I hope he's on Bluetooth. Because I hope he's on Bluetooth. Because I just was like, ooh wee. Oh my Lord, B. Now, the thing that's really wild, you all, is I want you all to sit for a minute and understand that John is a voter. John is a voter. Right? Right? And I think the thing that you served 22 years as a Marine, what does that mean, John? What does that mean? You served 22 years as a Marine. What is that supposed to mean, John? Nope, Persia, no one should have to pass a test before voting. We don't do poll taxes. No, we don't do poll taxes. No. All right. So, it means he has earned a right to have a voice. No, actually, it doesn't mean that, VD. It doesn't mean that. So, people have a right to have a voice, whether they've served in the United States military or not. Your rights to have a voice has nothing to do with whether or not you've served in the military. Okay? It's really important for people to understand that. Okay? I know people that have served that are horrible human beings. I just want to be clear about that. Okay? So, just so that we're all on the same sheet of music. Okay? It's very important for people to understand that. One of the things that we do as human beings is okay, so John, before I even act like I'm going to entertain you again, what I'm going to ask that you do is you're going to have to put in the chat whether or not you have the ability to follow the guidelines and be respectful on my panel. If you're not able to do that, and you also have to stay out the bathroom, right? We're not talking about bathrooms, and you can't use the bathroom while you're on my panel. Okay? If you can do those things. Okay? No bathrooms, not you being in one and not you talking about them. Okay, so John, let me know. Moderators, watch the chat, but I won't repeat that. I will. So John, let me be clear. If you want to join my panel, okay, what you need to do is you need to remain respectful before I let you back on this panel. And you need to not use the bathroom while you're on my panel again. And we're not discussing bathrooms and people's private parts while you're on my panel. So that's what I said. And I said it again. Okay. So if there's something about that you don't understand, okay. All right. So I do want to really quickly circle back around to a couple of things. And I just want to see where you all are right now. Because we were having a very in-depth conversation about the United States of America, about Israel, about Zionism, about the Balfour Declaration, about the Rothschilds and the trains and all the things. And I feel like we pretty much got to a good stopping point with that. And there are other topics that are up here for us to discuss today. So I just want to check in with you all and see, are there any other questions that I need to clarify about what we were just talking about before we open it up to folks that are on the panel and to any of the other subject matters? Anybody else got any other? Do you need clarifying questions? Do you need any of that? Yeah, no, they definitely were not included in the agreement. Yeah. And it's really important. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so let me just look. It is a lot to take in Invisible String, and it's why I do like to go back over it every now and again, because it is quite a lot to take in. And so yeah, it's a port. So anything else? Did I miss something? Something else happened in here. So there's a comment that you guys are responding to that I didn't get to see. Well, hey, Mountain, come on up. I sent you an invitation to the panel. And all of my guests that are currently up here, they're okay with me letting you go first. So Mountain, you had something that you wanted to say? Do I have that information on my link tree? Yes, I do. Yep, I sure do. No, we cannot talk about bathrooms. Was Balfour the start of the negotiations? So Balfour, no, the Balfour Agreement was the finalization. The Balfour Agreement, the Balfour Declaration was Britain saying we agree, right? And yeah, no, I'm well, when you say the American-Israeli agreement, are you referring to our memorandum of understanding? Because we do have a memorandum of understanding with Israel, okay, and the next one ends in 2028, and then there's another one. So if you're interested in that and the memorandum of understanding, then what you may want to know is that the Heritage Foundation has written a proposal for the next memorandum of understanding with Israel and the United States of America, and it would go from 2029 to 2047. So if you're interested in that, feel free to look it up. But I'm already familiar with the current memorandum of understanding. Is there anything that indicates why the British felt they could offer Palestine to the Zionists? Yeah, well, because they were already negotiating, Jay Owen. So remember, they're in the middle of World War I. At that time, Palestine is part of the Ottoman Empire, and the Brits are already negotiating with the leaders of Egypt and other places, and they're literally trying to organize, kind of this revolt against the Ottoman Empire at the same time that the war is happening. And they are saying, hey, listen, if you will do that, we will recognize you guys as independent states, right? But then they just become an asset, right? So it's important to understand that the Brits in 1915 were negotiating with the Arabs. And then in 1916, they were negotiating with the French. And then in 1917, they negotiated with the Zionists, right? So the Brits were just basically, who can we give what to get what we want, right? Which is what they do. I was trying to look to see. So I don't do children on this app. So Mountain West, did you find your way to the panel? Because I don't see you in the request box. Mountain West, this is absolutely your opportunity to come up here and have a discussion with the woman that you said doesn't listen. Can somebody look? Can somebody look? My mods look and tell me if Mountain West is still here or not. He left. Got that. Well, that's pretty much on par, is it not? Okay, so before we pop open the can to anything else, I'm going to go Frozo, then Baruti, and then James. What's up, Macaroni in the house? How's Sue?
Good morning. Well, it's evening for you, but is it
It's evening for you.
For you over there? Yes, it's evening for me, but is it morning for you over there?
It is. In some places, it still is, and where I am, it's 30 minutes past noon. So I'm on the East Coast.
So noon, okay, good early morning afternoon.
Yes.
That was rather I don't know, entertaining and weird at the same time.
Yes.
Weirdly entertaining, should we say?
Mm-hmm.
I've never had that level of ignorance ever on my platform. So it's quite different. It's really different.
It is.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Yes.
That being said, that was really good distraction from the absolute persistent. I have to be quite honest with you, the persistent self-depression that I've been in for the past couple of weeks. It sucked.
Oh yeah, you've had a rough couple of weeks.
Not after the whole reform thing. I'm kind of over that now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like the open, rampant, just fascism that's just kind of just pouring out now. Especially in the UK, they're not even trying to hide the fact that they're fascist anymore.
Right.
Tommy Robinson openly just came out and said, "Yeah, I want to deport all the Muslims from the country."
Correct.
And the supporters of Tommy Robinson are trying to convince me that he's only talking about the illegal immigrants.
Oh.
But she expect me to believe that all Muslims are all illegal immigrants.
How cute. That's what they try to do over here.
So I'm quite confused. I'm like, wait, so are you saying that all Muslims are illegal immigrants?
They just mean brown people.
Oh yeah, that was really confusing to me.
Yeah.
Because the statement is pretty clear. We want to deport and get rid of all Muslims from the country. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? You want to get rid of all the Muslims? I say, you know what? I'm all for Muslim remigration, but on our own terms. All the Muslims, pack your bags, go. We'll set up a travel agency so that you can all go to your own countries and help your own countries. And you can kick out the white merchants from your countries.
So I just want to remind everyone that U.S. Congressman Andy Ogles in March of this year posted on X, quote, "Muslims don't belong in American society. Pluralism is a lie." That is a direct quote from a sitting member of Congress in the United States of America.
Send educational assistance to the United States. I'm not really sure what kind of assistance I could provide to the United States from the UK. I'm having my hands full.
I mean, we could have it if we'd stop giving universal health care and universal and free education to Israel.
Yeah. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm all for it. Where are all my Muslims? Where are all my illegal Muslim immigrants with the British passports? You know, we somehow acquired the British passport through illegal means.
Yes,
somehow.
100%.
From the Home Office, by the way, we illegally acquired our British passports from Home Office after being in the country for a certain period of time. So clearly, the British government is complicit in illegal immigration.
Yeah, you know. Just saying.
That being said, I do want to give you some updates in regards to my project back home in Nigeria. We have got some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful news.
Love that.
I am working with some of my brothers on the ground in creating an education syllabus.
So share with
for
people.
the-
I know where home is for you, but other people do not. Share with people where
Yes,
home is
okay.
for you.
So I am from Nigeria. I a country with history, should we say?
Yes.
A country of 230 million people, 360 different ethnic groups, languages, etc., etc.
Oh, tell them about the religious breakdown. Tell them about the religious part.
Yeah, okay. So 52% Muslims, 48% Christians.
Wait, how many Christians?
48%.
Wait,
of the country.
I thought that in Nigeria they were unaliving all the Christians. What? How many? What percent?
48% of the country are Christian.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. For those of you all who do not know, what is happening in Nigeria is not religious based, right? So if you just happen to get caught up in the distress that is happening, it is not because you are Muslim or Christian specifically. You could be any of them in the midst of the mess. But I just wanted to offer that to you all. So go ahead.
Yes, no, absolutely correct. If there was any threat or risk of a Christian genocide in Nigeria, the country would already have been decimated by now, because we're talking about a country that is essentially split down the middle,
Yes.
religious-wise.
Half and half.
It
Like
is
me.
physically not possible.
Sorry.
It is physically not possible for there to be a Christian persecution by the Muslims. Anyway, so there's a lot of instability, and so people get confused. So we mentioned banditry, and then we mentioned like Boko Haram and ISOP and all these things. They think that they're all the same, but they're not. Okay, so Boko Haram and all of this I5 groups, splinter groups, are funded by outside entities, the French, the British, the Americans, right? To essentially hold parts of the North hostage and to just cause general chaos while the British and the French illegally mine Nigerian resources from the North. Okay? And then while that's happening, you then have basically independent roaming bandit groups that operate independently, essentially acting as kind of mercenaries.
Yep.
Right. And so they're also doing their own thing, targeted kidnappings, mass slaughter fests. Personal experience, I'm not sure if I told you, Dani, but before I came to the UK, my primary school got raided by armed robbers and we were held hostage for like 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours.
You did tell me that.
I'm not sure if I did tell you that. So that was a common occurrence, and that's still a common occurrence. That's not changed. So that's kind of the hectic situation. Actually, wait. Then there's kind of the religious aspect as well. So you have the evangelical Christians that are scamming the people for Bugattis, selling tickets to heaven and convincing them to pay for tickets to heaven so that they can purchase Bugattis and put them in the churches and say, look, this is from the Lord. We got to keep it here. This is the work of the community.
Yeah.
Give praise to Jesus for this Bugatti. But only I can ride it. That's on the evangelical Christian side. Then you've got the Muslims from the north, the clerics, okay? They are essentially taking children from families that can't actually afford to raise their children or give them an education and give them a living. They basically take them from their families. They essentially give them rudimentary Islamic lessons, like basic Arabic and how to read the Quran. And then they'll basically send them off in the streets to go and beg people for things.
Yep.
Which leaves them obviously vulnerable to kidnapping. So that is essentially the craziness that is Nigeria. That is the craziness that I am walking into. Okay.
Yep.
I summarized it, but it's a lot more. There's a lot more other crazy stuff. I don't want to overwhelm you guys with what's going on. Now, with the good news that I had, so yes, the Al Majli system, precisely. So the good news is that my brothers on the ground, we have got some piece of land that is undeveloped, ripe for purchase. And there is already some small Islamic centers being built there. And they're obviously looking for other investors. They're, for example, looking to build a sports complex, an IT suite room to teach IT and sciences.
Love that.
And they're looking to build rooms to teach Arabic, English, Spanish, Chinese, French, and all the other languages. So you can have multilingual people. And so what I'm doing is at the moment is I'm working with my brothers to actually draft an education syllabus that is history sensitive and is also culturally sensitive as well. So we're not forcing anything on them, right? We're trying to make sure that they get that their beliefs and what they believe in and their cultural values sprout into something actually beautiful.
Yeah.
So that they actually know that what they're believing is actually worth something of benefit to them and their community, right? Because after being lied to and deceived for so long, that's all that they're used to. False promises of safety, false promises of good things to come, and just being lied to by everyone they're supposed to trust. So we're trying to rebuild that trust. And so that's what we're doing. That's what we're currently doing at the moment. We're in the middle of drafting that, sending some back and forths. And I shall be traveling to Nigeria at the end of July to go and see what's going on down there. See the land, speak to the land developers and everything. And what is really, really good is that there is actually right next to that underdeveloped land is an internment displacement camp. So there would be people that would be immediately able to benefit from
I love that
development project.
I love that. That is good news. Congrats.
Yep. So that is where we are at. So there is a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And with the whole bandit situation, we'll deal with the bandits as it comes, right? Because we know that bandits are gonna come for us. It's just gonna happen. So we'll deal with that as it comes.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So the plan is on the social media side is to turn this TikTok page or create another TikTok page and to have that be my vlog page where I shall be going every day TikTok live and I shall be just filming what's going on the ground, speaking to the people, and you guys can go on this journey with me.
Yep.
So
Love that.
That's the idea.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And then we get to do some joint lives and show what's happening there and all the things. Love that.
Yep. Exactly right. And obviously because the developers on the ground, they've already got all of the resources, they've got the people to build the land and stuff like that. So it's really just investors that they're looking for and for people with a vision and a plan and sort of add to that. So it'd be really, really great if we turn this into a gigantic community project.
So, you know me, I'm swooping in auntie mode. So the verbiage is, it's going to be really, really great as we develop this into something that is beautiful and impactful and truly helps the people. Not it would be, and not if. It's really great that this is currently growing into, because you need to acknowledge the present moment. The present moment is good news. The good news is there is land. The good news is there are people that are interested in investors. The good news is you're already going. So whatever it is going to be, it already is becoming that thing.
Yeah, I agree. Light at the tunnel, as they say, and this is why I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely so excited.
So use present moment.
Nothing at the moment can bring me down. I don't care about talk of bandits. I don't care about all these other issues. We're going to deal with it as it comes. Exactly. what I'm really bothered about is just giving these guys something to believe in, giving them something to build and to defend themselves, because they have nothing. So
yeah, and hope is powerful.
Exactly. And you know what I think is even more beautiful? I think it's kind of like a silver lining kind of thing, right? Is that even though we was all born on that land, right? There is not a single allegiance to the flag. There's not a single allegiance to the country of Nigeria, because the borders are not ours. We didn't choose these borders. We didn't choose the laws that you brought to us. We didn't choose the flag. It's not ours. Okay. And so the fact that, you know, the people that have betrayed us have used this flag to betray us and destroyed our trust in that flag, I think is a really good thing, because it's grounds for building a new foundation that's actually based on what the people actually need and what they want and for their children.
And just a reminder for those of you guys who may not be familiar with what he's referring to, if you are not familiar with the great scramble of Africa that occurred when all of these Western countries decided to meet up in Germany and decide how Africa should be divvied up amongst those nations, go look it up. It is a very real thing. From a historical perspective, there is something. And okay, so I'm going to go here. Some people might not like it, and I don't give a fuck. It's going to be okay. So listen, folks, in order for us to get where we desire to be, and I believe where most of us desire to be as people and human beings all around the globe, we have to address the things that are real and that are very much in front of our faces. When people say things like, why does everything have to be about race? My question to you would be, when has it not ever been about race for Black and brown people? The way that white Western countries, I got you, Baruti, have determined amongst themselves that Black and brown countries and the global South don't have the right to or the need for self-determination, right? That is 100% rooted in racism. If you do not understand that, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Whether or not we could vote in this country, whether or not we could get married in this country, who we could marry in this country, whether or not we could go to schools, whether or not we could drink out of a water fountain, has always been about race. It has always been about race for us. So when white people say, why does it always have to be about race? I would say to you, when has it ever not been about race for us? And it has always been about race for Black and brown people because of white people, right? And that's not something that feels great. But it is rooted in behavior that we see all around the world. And we see that behavior in Cuba today, with the United States of America determining that same thing. We see it with Africa. We see it with Palestine. We see it with Sudan. We see it with the Congo. We see it in so many places around the global South. And it's really important that that people understand that this concept of race was not created by Black and brown people. It was a structure. It was a system that was necessary in order to create a power structure and an economical strategy and system that benefited a particular group of people. And, you know, I don't pretend to know like like all the whys about a thing. What I would say to you is this: even today, white people are the majority when you look at the entire world. The only people that needed a system to create power was them. We didn't need it. Black and brown people did not need a system because we were the majority. We didn't need a system to manipulate other people or to control other people or to demean other people or oppress other people because we were the majority. Okay? Same thing for men and women. Okay? So I just want to point this out so that everybody can understand that in every conversation, there must be a racial component in order for us to dismantle and deconstruct the YTs are the minority in the world. Yes. I don't know if I'd said it backwards, Marky, but yes. And so I want you all to understand, and it's not the conversation around Black and brown people, right? Isn't about, oh, look what white people did to us. That's not the conversation that we need to have around race. Just to be clear, the conversation that we need to have around race are the systems that were created by this racial construct, right? And how do we dismantle and redesign those systems equitably for all people? That's the conversation. Most of the Black and brown people I know do not want to have a single another conversation about fucking slavery. Y'all act like as if that's all we are, or that's all our ancestors ever were, and it is so far from it. We are talking kings and queens and doctors and farmers and architects and educators and farmers and all of the things. You want to talk about this one little glimmer of time when you behaved at your worst, right? When I say you, I mean your ancestors, right? And we don't want to talk about that time. That time is not the entirety of who we are as people. Right. Engineers, you got it. Okay. So, dear white people, if you want to stop talking about slavery, I'm cool with that. Let's talk about systemic racism. See, that's the difference. You all believe that when we say we need to talk about racism, that we mean we need to talk about slavery and the horrific things that your ancestors did. No, we want to talk about the system. We want to talk about the societal constructs and the systems that uphold the oppression of a particular group of people, right, for the expansion and elevation of another group of people. Okay, so I just want to be clear. When you hear Frozo talk about Nigeria and what's happened there, and the other and how it impacts us today, exactly, Cam. And the only other things that I would offer to you, every time you hear a white person in a position of power, especially in politics, open their mouth to talk about a shithole Black and brown country, that is your cue. That is your invitation to go find out who the fuck made them that way. You hear me? That is your invitation to go find out who made it that way. Who caused the destabilization? Who did it? Who corrupted? Who did all of that? That's your invitation. Okay? Sorry, Frozo. I just needed to interject that for just a second.
No, you're good. It needed to be said, but for me, when I'm talking about the development of Nigeria, I'm not even talking anything about white people or colonization or the Americans, because they're not important in this discourse when we're talking about the future of my country.
Yep.
To me, they're not relevant to the discussion. Right. Even when I'm talking about traitors, right, to the country,
yeah,
they're not even relevant to the discussion either, right? Because this is about the future of the country. This is about our children, our sons and daughters and nieces and nephews that are either alive and born and have become orphans because of the situation of the country, or those that have yet to be born. That's my concern.
Yeah,
I could care less about anything else. So they're not relevant to me. So you don't need to feel guilty or feel bad that I'm calling you out when I'm talking about the development of the country, right? Your guilt is with you, not with me.
Right. 100%.
Your inadequacy is with you, not with me. Okay.
Yep.
Like if you want to help fix the country, come and help fix the country. If you want to simply just talk about the problems, go complain to the people who want to listen. I'm not one of those people. Sorry.
Yep.
I'm
100%.
not going to play the stupid tribalistic games, blaming religion, blaming people, trying to claim that one group of people are simply just more innately violent than another group of people. I'm not going to play that game with you. It's not going to happen. Because unlike you, I understand basic human psychology. I know why humans behave the way that they behave. Nobody turns violent just because they're innately violent. No one. Nowhere has that ever happened.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack in it. Hella, Raja. What I do want, listen, I do want, this is again, one of the things that I would say. So the reason why I wanted to bring up the scramble of Africa, because I know that there are Americans that don't know shit about it, right, Frozo? And they need to know those things, and that Americans need to understand the role that we have played globally in the things that have happened. And even when people say, oh, well, look at all the good we've done. You know what America is really good at, y'all? America is good at shutting down the restaurants in town and closing all the grocery stores and then expecting praise for handing out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and fucking brown paper bags. Look at what we're doing. Look at this beautiful thing. I'm just saying. Just so that we're clear about that. And this is the thing that people need to be paying attention to right now. Don't you dare sit around and let them take credit for a gas tax holiday. Fuck that noise. We wouldn't need it if this hadn't already happened. You hear me? Y'all follow me? Don't let them have you celebrating something as a win when it is literally a small portion of what you used to have. Okay? Don't let somebody take your cake and then make you think you're supposed to be happy because you got a sliver of it back. Absolutely not. It's your whole fucking cake.
Okay, so I feel quite confused. The profile pic is not me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, that's not me, okay? That's Arsene Wenger, the coach of Arsenal Football Club, okay, who just brought Arsenal their first Premier League title, okay, in the English football club, okay? That's who that is. That is
Yeah.
not me.
They'd have been like, what Nigerian is that? Not you.
Okay, he's not Nigerian.
Yeah. Yeah, you got people completely confused. Okay.
Well, don't worry. My wardrobe is gonna look exactly like that when I go to Nigeria anyway, so there's not gonna be no issues. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna be wearing my jeans or my purple top I've got on right now, or my hoodie and tracksuit. It's gonna be pure. You're gonna see. Like I said, you're gonna see that. That's what you're gonna be looking at.
Okay, so a couple of things are going to happen moving forward. Hold on, Frozo. It is time for me to do a Pally panel. So I'm going to be alternating, but we're going to continue conversation at the same time. If Mo or Zena or Abu Siraj or Wadmi or Hussein, any of you folks can help me articulate. Because what I want is I want the numbers to stay up while you guys are in here. Okay. So that means I need to keep going with quote unquote our regular talking points and not a lot of Arabic in the chat because it will fuck up the whole algorithm. I don't know how y'all say fuck up the whole algorithm in Arabic, but say that. So I need them to not spam the comments and tag the moderators and write a bunch of stuff in Arabic because it will it will end up taking me out of the American For You page and sending it, appreciate it, Jabber, and then sending it into Palestine, and that's not who I need to see. Does that mean okay? All right. So, all right, James, give me a second. Frozo, you know you're free to hang out still, and yeah, I think they're going to tell them which. This is the time when I need everybody to continue tapping, liking, sharing, doing all of those things. And we're going to go, from there. Okay. All right. So, and yeah, folks in the States and in the West, please keep commenting. You need to recharge, Carla. No worries. Go ahead.
So I do have to go.
Okay.
Like, yeah, in a couple of minutes. But it was really good to see you again. But yeah, I just thought I definitely bring you those updates, and yeah, you guys could definitely follow my journey. I've not started posting anything yet. I'm actually floating if I should start posting about Nigeria before I actually go.
Yeah.
Or if I should start posting and going lives and stuff like that when I'm there.
I think both.
Because I've got work as well. You think both? Okay.
Because the algorithm is going to be different once you're there.
That's true.
And you need to make sure that your algorithm reaches the West now so that West interaction stays with you even when you go.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, okay. I'll start making some posts and some videos and definitely hosting more lives about it just to make sure that my algorithm stays where I want it to be before I go.
100%.
Okay.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah, and I should definitely change the PFP from Arsenal Wenger, okay, because he's got nothing to do with Nigeria.
You are hilarious.
So I will make it more relevant to Nigeria, just so just so I can take it a bit more seriously.
So
Definitely
funny.
will change the name. It's not going to be Frozo time.
No, make it something up. Because they know you coming. You already know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it from Frozo time to something else. In about 3 to 5 days. So yeah, definitely we'll do that, and I'll definitely start posting sometime this week. In that case, yes.
Perfecto. I'm excited for you.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Same here.
I shall see you guys. When I see you. Okay.
Yes. See you. Love you, friend. Safe.
Yeah. Hello, Dani. How are you?
I'm good, Hussein. How are you?
Fine. I miss you so much, my friend.
Yeah, I miss you too. You doing okay?
Okay, my friend.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. All right. So folks, listen, things that are important for you to know. I'm kind of alternating the panel right now with folks that are in the States and then folks that are between the river and the sea. This is the time where you get to show some love with your coins and all the things. And dang, Jabber, I don't know how I missed you. It said yes, and then it said no. Hello, Raja. Raja and Hussein are.
Miss you, Dani.
Yeah.
Where's Dani?
Where's Dani? Yeah, Dani was sick for a little bit, and then Dani's daughter had COVID as well. Yeah, so both.
Miss you, wallah. Miss you, Dani, wallah.
Yeah, miss you, wallah. 100%. So.
Wallah, miss you.
Yeah, Raja messaged me and I've got alhamdulillah. I'm good. Yeah. What do I have?
I'm asking for you, my friend Dani. They told me that you was very sick, something in the stomach, virus stomach, like this.
Yeah.
And I said your message to you to ask about you.
I saw it come through. I just haven't had a chance to respond to everybody, but I did see that you sent me a message. Yeah, I had a nasty virus. and my stomach was all upset for a couple of days. And then my daughter actually got COVID. So yeah, so my daughter was sick with COVID. And then I think you saw Tuesday, Mila graduated from pre-K, from pre-kindergarten. So
I saw her. I'm so happy for her.
yeah, 100%. It was amazing. So I appreciate you checking in on me. Raja sent me a message too. I haven't had a chance to respond. I still don't feel great right now, but it's for a different reason. It's just my pain level in my back.
سلام حسين، كيف حالك؟ كل عام وانت بخير.
انت بخير يا حبيبي راجل، الله
عيد
يسلمك.
مبارك. خبر داني انه احنا اشتقنا لها كثير بعد غياب يعني. انا والله قلقت عليها بصراحه لانه زمان ما ظهرت. وبعثت لها اطمن عليها ما ردت على الواتساب.
لسه والله ابو العبد لسه كنت احكي قبل ما تحكي معي، بقول لها بعثت لك مسج وبتقول لي والله لا ما شفتش مسجك. وبرضه ابو العبد راجي بعث لي مسج بتطمئن علي. كان عندها فيروس في المعده وكانت بنتها كمان مصابه بكوفيد.
سلامتك داني، سلامتك. All love Dani.
Shukran, Raja. Shukran. Yeah, it was not great. Alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah.
With you as well. يعني we miss you, sister. I hope your health is well now, and your daughter.
Yeah, everybody's finally getting better. She had the COVID that she had, her C19 virus was really yucky. It was really bad. Her fever was like 104 Saturday and Sunday. So it was pretty high.
Assalamu alaikum, Dani.
Alaikum salam. Hey, Allah Shak Shak. I'm trying to kind of help get things up. I'm trying to count my boxes too. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Oh, okay. Y'all see me trying to fix my boxes so I can get folks up. Holy geez. Okay. Appreciate you guys. Okay, so Danikins, I need for you guys to help me guide the panel today. What's a good, you say 2? All right, thank you for telling me, Carla. So we're gonna do a 2K goal, guys. And then I also want you all to remember that there are links all the way. And listen, some folks I know just want to chat with me for a minute. Like y'all know Raja be intense. When I'm missing, Raja be intense on the WhatsApp. He'd be like, Denny, are you okay? Where is Danny? He'd be real intense. And what's up, Mo? How are you?
Hey, Dani, good to be in here. Good to see you back again.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for what happened to your granddaughter. Hope she's doing good with the COVID. And sad to hear about your backache. Hope it gets lost soon.
Yes. So, I've had 4 knee surgeries and then I've had 3 procedures on my back. And
oh my God, I didn't know about the knee ones.
I've had 4 knee surgeries all on the right knee. And we've just, I don't know, in the middle of my back just feels like, imagine like the heaviest, thickest towels that are really tight. And then just imagine them wringing. It's literally like right here in the middle of my back and then down like right at the base of my back before you get to my hips. And so like even my meds haven't been helpful. So
I'm so sad to hear. I can't even imagine that, wallah.
Yeah.
But I can recommend, there is a doctor, he's Lebanese, but he can help through online. He's well known in the spine and back physical treatment. He's like globally well known. There is like only one and one in Russia doing the same as he does. He's like the OG in this. Maybe
the OG.
If I could link you to him.
Yeah.
He's in Beirut, in Lebanon.
I'm down.
Maybe he can help somehow.
I'm down.
We can work on that.
Yeah. I appreciate that. For those of you guys that are new, I want to give you a second and I just want to kind of talk to you a little bit about the folks that are on the panel before I rotate folks out. So
I hope you be more better. So I want to tell you something. We have a special day from yesterday. We celebrate about Eid al-Adha. We call it in Arabic Eid al-Adha. And in this day we take day as a plus day. We can we celebrate with our children, with our families. We visit our relatives like this. We try to some things to do something good for our children because they face a lot of miserable situation. We try to do anything for making them happy alhamdulillah, and it's good alhamdulillah, it's lots of good. Even we have some bombing at the first of the day of Eid al-Adha and the second, but it's both alhamdulillah.
I love that. Yes. I remember, Mo, I remember the first time that I was with you all when you all had the, Eid Barak, the first time that I knew you all when it was around, like however many months ago that was. And Amal was talking about, how the men go around to the families. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about, Mo?
Yeah. Talking about visiting the relatives and stuff.
Yeah.
So we have two of these holidays in a year.
Mhm.
One is right after Ramadan, the month we fast in.
Yep.
And one is like now. It's in like a moon month. I don't know what that is, but yeah, there's two of them. And
Yeah.
I do remember those days actually. So amazing.
Yep. Amal was talking to me about how like in their culture, like it was the responsibility of them. They go around and they do they go visit all the families and they go visit the women and all of that. I don't know if you call it a moon month because of like what we have happening. So we call May 30th is going to be a blue moon. I don't know if you all call it that or not, but because the moon, the lunar cycle, yeah, because the lunar cycle is 29 and a half days, every so often there's a month where you have a second full moon. And so we call it a blue moon. Yep. And so it's
yeah, but we have like, just like we have June, January, February, we have another 12 of these, but with different names. That's how we calculate for the Eid, the one that we're in now.
okay.
Another months.
Isn't that interesting? How we have similar things.
Exactly. And then one more thing, a golden like coincidence happened. So I have a friend, his name is Yurian. He's Dutch. He once came in here because I was on your panel. He started saying hi, being nice in comments. So 6 days ago, I met some amazing people. I'm gonna make it short. They're from Australia and in the US. Such amazing people. They came to my live. He sent his people, like he had like 200 people. He sent most of them to my live. Then did battles, asked about my situation, stuff like golden people, beautiful souls. And then Yurian came to my live explaining how beautiful those souls is. And he made an example of Dani and Danikans with being the same to Gazans and Palestinians. And I found, wallah, I started blushing when he mentioned you guys, to be honest.
I love that.
Beautiful. Yeah.
That's
so beautiful.
awesome. That is awesome. People, people, when I'm live, people ask about you guys when I do posts. People really do know, and they've come to know and love you guys tremendously. And so I love the fact that it's spreading across and people are behind it, right? Y'all know.
So I'm gonna go for now. Bye to us. Yalla, bye-bye.
Mo, wait. Mo, can you do me a favor? Mo, can you just let everybody know that that we're gonna do like a 2K, and that way I can try to help as many people. And then I need for them to not type so much in Arabic in the chat because it will mess up the algorithm. You see the numbers already. So yeah, and then just tell them don't tag and inbox the moderators. I know they do that. Hey Noor.
اوكي لحظة يا شباب حلوين اخواني في غزة لو سمحتوا لحظة يا نور لو سمحتوا ما حدا يكتب بالعربي وما تمنشنوا المشرفين وما تضل تكرروا وهي حتنزل على 2K يا اخواننا اللي على البنات عشان تحاول تعطي فرصة للجميع. Yeah, then that's perfect. Okay.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Mo. Appreciate you. Okay, Raja, I'll message you.
Very miss you, والله Dani. Dani, very miss you. In the sick?
Yes.
Sick, Dani?
Yep.
No, والله very miss you. tomorrow yesterday Dani والله listen 10 شهيد والله no Eid Mubarak والله والله 10 شهيد very very bad in Gaza very bad يا داني والله
Yeah.
very bad.
Yeah, I know. So for those of you guys who do not know, there have been bad bombings in Gaza. Israel claims that they targeted some apartment buildings because they were going out after a military leader of Hamas or whatever. This is my stance on Israel will always tell a lie about why they're going to attack apartment buildings or people or whatever. It's just what they do. So,
How are you, Mama Mona?
oh, she's good.
Dani, salam, Mama Mona. Wallah, very miss you, Dani. Dani, people from Gaza and people from Palestine. Wallah, Dani, I miss you. I'm very happy. Group Dani, very beautiful. Wasim shway English.
Yes,
Very good.
Wasim shway English.
I love you. Sandy, and Ken, and Bully. I love you. Sandy, Brandy. Wallah, I love you, Group Dani. Wasim, inshallah, down.
Yes.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Yes. Thanks, Wasim.
Goodbye,
Yes.
Dani.
Whoops. I hit the thing.
Sister Dani, والله بارك الله فيك إن شاء الله عيد مبارك. Thank you so much. Thank you all. كل عام وأنتم بخير إن شاء الله. بارك الله فيك.
السلام عليكم.
Alaikum salam. I'm good, Salah. How are you? Good, Barack. Everybody talks like almost at the same time. So give me 1 second. I'm trying to do. Y'all know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fix me up so I can do something real quick. Right.
I heard you have been sent to wish you will be better soon, inshallah.
I have. Okay, you got the right one. Yep. I wanted to make sure it's the right one. So listen, moderators, this Abu Samir is the right one. There's a fake one that's also requesting. I just want my mods to know. So this is the real one. He's got his camera on, but he's there's a fake one too. Hold on. I need to tell Raja something. Give me a second, guys. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Hey Dani, how are you?
Hey Wadmi, how are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, hi guys. In the comments. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Raja, check WhatsApp.
Okay, Dani.
أبو سمير في حساب مزور باسمك هي هلقت عملت له بلوك.
Yeah. Yeah, Mo, thank you.
You have been sick. Inshallah, I hope you'll be better soon, inshallah.
Yeah, I have been, and then my daughter got COVID, like for real, and then
COVID.
yeah,
Oh my God.
my daughter got COVID. She started not feeling good last Thursday, and then Friday she was real sick, and by Friday or Saturday, her fevers had reached like 104, and they were like, she could take medicine and she could get the fever to break, but they would come back every 4 to 5 hours. And so she finally just went back to work today. She's been sick for a whole week.
Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah.
Yeah. So it's been a lot. But no, I appreciate you. For those of you guys that are in the chat and that are listening, so Anas down below me, that is Mo's brother. Abu Samir, we've known for a very long time as well. You saw his little boy with him. Wadmi is our friend who is also in the West Bank. Soha is above her. She also has a little girl that has to get medication and things like that.
Dani, can you?
Oh shit. Okay. Hey, I need to tell Danikins real quick. Danikins, something is happening with Raja's direct link and the account owner. So coins are the best way for him right now until he gets that fixed. Okay. This is me trying to navigate. Yes. Go ahead, Wadmi.
I need to ask you if you
put my link in your link tree?
Yes, I'm almost sure that I did. Give me 1 second. I'm almost sure. I'm checking it now, but I'm almost sure that I did when Sandy or Cam or somebody gave it to me. I'll check it now though. Sweet baby Jesus. It's trying to log in. Give me a second. Oh my gosh. No, I don't want to do that. Okay.
So then, I can't open my front camera because my phone is bad.
That's okay.
I have so I did like a campaign to try to collect some money to buy a new phone. I can't buy a new phone from this money that I take it from the live because the money that I get from the lives, it's not that much. Also, I put it with my mom or my sister to buy some food, some things. So I wish if anybody can do anything, I'm trying to collect something, يعني. Because the phone that I used to study also, I used to contact with people on TikTok, on other social media. Yeah, inshallah.
Okay, I got it. Folks, there's always going to be, so for you guys over here, let me go. I'm sorry, I forgot you guys were here. I love you, I mean it, but I did forget y'all were here. So I will be back tomorrow for you guys on the Book of Faces, Substack, YouTube, and Twitch. Okay. Appreciate you. I'm going to go navigate this so I can help them out over here.